On Ghost Fam. Happy Monday to you. I hope you are all doing well. Happy Monday. Hope everybody's doing wonderful today. It is good to see you all. See JB's Pokestop in the chat. Uncle Brangus, hello. It's good to see you, fam. Matt Gooch was in early. Appreciate you being here, brother. Hope everybody's ready for a unique story time. A couple episodes. New Zealand fam, it is good to see you. I hope Leighton and Brad had an amazing day at school today. Kara, how are you doing? Founder, SSR, or SRR, it is good to see you. I'm ready. A bit nervous, but I'm ready for it. Mrs. 5150 in way early on. I hope you are all doing well. Got 4 people here, ready to read. Hey, what's going on, Stafford? How you doing, fam? Hope you're feeling well today. We will give it our standard about 10 minutes, and then we will begin to get into the story, which is indeed a story that was written by Mama Ghost. Interesting. Listen to you nap. That sounds like a great idea. That sounds like a great idea indeed. Yeah, this is going to be the first time in a very long time since I've read this book, and I thought that it would be I wanted to do it prior to everything happening, and I do remember even asking her and talking about it a little bit of making this book one of the books that I read on Monday. So I figured after our last book, and a little time has passed, I think I'm ready to honor her memory and read a book that she was very proud of, in Unspoken Secrets. What's going on, Matt Gooch? What's up, Rap Philosophy? It's good to see you, brother. Hope everybody had a beautiful Monday. Hope you got everything that you set out to get today. This is the book that we're going to read. I know it's backwards for y'all, but it is called Unspoken Secrets. And it was written by my mom. LA Thunder was her pen name. But we'll forever know her and love her as Mama Ghost. Oh, cool. It was only backwards for me. It's right ways for you guys. I love that. Appreciate you, Rafa. Someone tried that earlier. I don't know why it didn't work, but I'm getting off track here. Hey, what's going on, Charlie? How are you? It's good to see you. Layla and the 2 boys watching. Nana's in the other room. She said she DM'd you on Discord. Me? Oh, was it just now? Oh, yes. Okay. Let her know that I will absolutely respond to her when I get a second. So far, so good, Dirk. I've been really looking forward to this, and at the same time, I've been a little bit nervous and a lot of it, scared just to get into memory. But I think that I am ready. I think that time has passed, and I'm ready to share. So yes, I really, really appreciate you all being here and being ready for it. We will get started here in about, I would say, 5 minutes. So if you had something or a drink that you needed to prepare or coffee to make or dogs to let out, PJs to get into because I know that it is bedtime for a lot of us. We will probably be going for about 2 hours, maybe a little more, maybe a little less, depending on the events of the night and if my if my heart can take it. I'll say that. Leighton, Brad, hope you guys had a fantastic day at school. I also hope that you both had a fantastic day at school today and learned lots. Always good to have you both here. I did have a accomplishment today that I wanted to share with all of you. Is that while I was messing around with it, just a little bit bored, I was actually able to, for the first time, without assistance of looking anything up, I was able to solve my 4x4 Rubik's Cube. I will say that I got really, really lucky in that last layer because I didn't have to do any fancy algorithms that I would otherwise look up, but I was able to do it all. And that made me feel good. Yep. Also got one of those really hard algorithms memorized, so should make it pretty simple. As long as that last layer plays nice, I should be able to do it without help. So I appreciate that. I truly do. And I know I can almost feel it. And this is sent out to all of you. I know that she would have just been over the moon if she were here to see you all get to enjoy her work. What's going on, Brian? I hope you're doing well. Go Spencer in the chat. How you doing tonight, fam? You know, as is tradition as well, let me go ahead and do this. I believe we are in a new month. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go ahead and send our first 5 for the month, as is tradition. One on the reading stream, one on the pokey stream. Charlie Kirk getting that. Ronald McDonald, Collectible Corners, Pokey Pimple, Corey Lowe. Appreciate you all so, so much. Charlie sniping a membership, that's crazy. But welcome to all the new Ghost fam. Sir, we had an awesome day at school today. We hope you had a good day today. Uncle Kev and Uncle Brangus. Today was good. Absolutely, man. That's weird when that happens. I did have a good day. It went really, really fast, and sometimes that can be a bad thing, but sometimes it's a kind of a blessing on a Monday. So it did go really, really fast. There was a lot of meetings today, but otherwise it was a good day. My back's feeling good too, and this chair is helping out a lot. So, all right, about 2 minute warning. 2 minute warning before we get started. I am not going to read the. I'm not going to read the dedication, as there's a lot of personal life things, and honestly, I'm not sure if I can get through it without getting emotional. But there is one little paragraph I will read, and that is because it is relevant. Same kind of days, Kev. Lots of meetings today. Actually, it really did, right? It was so weird. I feel like I logged in, booted up, went to my first meeting, went to my second meeting, and then it was like lunchtime, and I was like, how did that happen? So my mother did write to my children, Jessica, Kevin, and Devin, for being the inspiration in life which led to this book and the reason I wrote it. I love you so much. Yep, it is certainly copywritten, but that's okay. We're still going to do it. This is going to fit right in. Nice little adventure. Ah, 11 people in here. Really, really appreciate you guys. That would be like the thumbnail idea. I've started to match the background to the book of which we're reading. And that one I wish I could say was real quick, but that one I really couldn't decide on which one I wanted. All right, y'all. Well, with that being said, I appreciate you all being here. Thanks for coming to relax and read tonight with the Pokey Ghost and the Ghost Fam. I will be pausing between chapters if this is your first time here, so if I do ignore the chat for some time, I am just trying not to break the illusion. But this is a book that my mother wrote, Mama Ghost, or as her pen name was, L.A. Thunder, as she was in the chat. She wrote it a very long time ago. Let me see the exact year. 2011 is when it was written. So about 15 years ago. Excellent. I love that. I hope you're enjoying that afternoon snack. This is classed as like a young adult novel, and the funny thing is, most everything we've read so far is pointed towards the younger generation. So, but let's go ahead and start with the prelude. This is a written book, so I'm hoping my eyes hold out too. It's going to be odd switching from the Kindle, but let me see if there's a table of contents. There is not. Let me see how many chapters there are. There's 30 chapters. Let's see how these chapters go, and then we'll kind of gauge how many streams that it's going to take. Prelude. This is Unspoken Secrets by L.A. Thunder, Mama Ghost. We love you. The day started out much like any other day in Kimmy Washington's life, except for a dark swirl of mist that she discovered outside her bedroom window this morning when she woke up. Being the brave teen that she is, she opened the window and watched the dark mist slowly enter her room, where it drifted over to her bedroom door, opened it, and slowly made its way down the hall to her parents' bedroom. Kimmy followed it, and slipped into her parents' room undetected, she hoped, because if her mother ever found out Kimmy was in her room without permission, she would be grounded until she turned 18. In Kimmy's calculation, that was 5 years away, so she made sure she stayed quiet as possible. As she watched the mist travel over to a wall, the mist removed the mirror, and Kimmy noticed a dark blue circle. Somehow the mist opened the circle, and Kimmy saw a key, which immediately illuminated the entire room. She watched in fascination and horror as the mist placed the key in her hand. She studied it for a moment, not knowing what any of it meant, and when she heard the stairs creak, she knew her mother was coming. Kimmy slowly opened her parents' bedroom door, saw the hallway was clear, and walked quickly to her room. Once she closed the bedroom door, she watched the mist travel back over to her window and float outside. She raced over to it, but the mist was gone. It had completely vanished. When she placed the key in her pocket, she felt her heart beating as if it were in a race against time. She took a few deep breaths, trying to calm down. Wondered again what just happened. Why was the strange mist outside her window? What was the key to? And why did the mist give it to her? What was she supposed to do with it now? She got up off the bed, grabbed her cell phone, and called her best friend Bobby Martin. When he didn't answer, she walked into her closet, and that's when the door slammed shut, and a warrior-looking man that Kimmy had once seen in her history book at school appeared. "Who are you?" Kimmy demanded, her blue eyes ablaze with anger. "I am Juan Buyo, and you are Kimmy?" He crinkled his nose. "Yeah, that's right, I am. Got a problem with that?" Kimmy folded her arms. The warrior shrugged. "No, it's just not a very strong name." "Says who?" Kimmy asked. "Says everyone that I know." The warrior watched her with his penetrating blue eyes, and Kimmy noticed how long and dark his hair, how his long dark hair touched the collar of his shirt. "Who are you, and why are you in my bedroom?" Kimmy raised her voice. "I'm Juan Buyo, and I come with news about your life." "What news? And how do you know about my life?" "I know all there is to know about you, so hush so I can relay the message I was sent here to deliver." "How do you know me? And you better talk fast, because I'm giving you 3 seconds before I scream." "That's a human trait, huh? The screaming? The warrior asked. I guess. Now hurry up, Kimmy said, and her heart raced once again. The warrior watched her before he spoke. Your spirit is strong, but you do have a hard time listening. Oh, I listen when it's important, so get on with it. Okay, but try not to interrupt. When Kimmy remained quiet, the warrior continued. Today you will meet your best friend, Bobby Martin, at the fountain. Today is the day you will tell him about the dark swirl that was outside your window, the one you let into the house without permission, the one who went into your parents' room and invaded their privacy. The mist gave you a key you were not supposed to know about yet. Once you're finished telling him about the dark mist, you will tell him about the dreams you've been having about your grandmother. Once this is completed, you shall tell him about your friend, Camille. After this is done, be prepared for your life to change forever. After today, things will never be the same again. Keep your eyes open for the dangers that await you at every turn. Be advised that some of the new people you meet you can trust, the others you cannot. Your journey will be difficult, but the first seal of your fate was broken when you let that mist into this house, the second when you accepted the key. Now the rest will unfold as quickly as your heart is racing. Do you understand? Kimmy stared at him as she chewed her bottom lip. No, none of that makes any sense. It will, the warrior nodded as if he were agreeing with what he had just said. But it doesn't, so why don't you leave the way you came in? As Kimmy watched, the warrior faded, and before she knew it, he was gone. She glanced around her walk-in closet and realized she was alone. So she reached in her pocket, felt the key nestled there, grabbed her cell phone. The sooner she got a hold of Bobby, the better. Ooh, shortbread cookies. Well, that was the end of the prelude. That's pretty much what we're in for. 1 chocolate chip muffin each, 4 homemade shortbread cookies. I'm washing it all down with milkshake. Yummy. Thank you, Nana Katrina. That sounds super yummy. All right, let's officially start this journey and see what will happen to Kimmy and Bobby. Chapter 1. Will you tell him today? Camille asked Kimmy as she sat on the edge of the fountain in downtown Plymouth waiting for her best friend Bobby Martin to arrive. I don't know what to do. I mean, I want to tell him, but I don't know if I will today. Camille tapped her foot. Oh, you have to tell him. If you don't, who knows what's going to happen? Besides, if you don't tell him, I will. Kimmy laughed. You can't tell him. I need to think about how I'm going to tell Bobby about what's going on. Why can't I tell him? Camille asked. Because you know the rules, and you know you're not allowed to tell him. Camille, we were both told the rules this morning. Yeah, but just this once. Please, oh please. Maybe if I tried really hard, I'd be able to talk to Bobby. It doesn't matter how hard you try, it's not going to work. Now, we were both told that the world that you come from forbids fairies to talk to humans. And the last time I checked, Bobby was human. But I can talk to you. Yeah, but you've always been able to talk to me. Well, will you at least let me try to talk to Bobby? No. Kimmy smiled when she spotted Bobby walking across the park. Please, Kimmy. Camille, I said no. Now be a good fairy and leave this to me. Camille moaned. But you're so boring. No, I'm not. Yes, you are. Oh my goodness, no, I'm not, Camille. Yes, you are. You never do anything wrong. Well, at least not yet. What's that supposed to mean? Camille smiled. It means that Bobby's got a secret. Bobby's got a secret. What kind of secret? Kimmy asked. The kind that's going to make your life exciting, and I can't wait. Like I said, you're boring, and I'm tired of yawning over it. Very funny, Camille. Who's Camille? Bobby asked, sitting next to Kimmy. No one. Kimmy sighed. So, do you talk to yourself often? He smiled. I wasn't talking to myself. So, who's Camille? And where did she go? It's a long story. Bobby grabbed Kimmy's hand. Good thing I've got all day. Camille fluttered her bright green wings, and Kimmy watched the white sparkle of stardust swirl around her. Oh, hurry up, Kimmy, and tell him. He's going to think I've lost my mind, Camille. I already think that, Bobby laughed. You're talking to yourself again. I'm not talking to myself, I'm talking to Camille. Yeah, so you've said, but can't see her, so you must be talking to yourself. Kimmy sighed as Camille giggled. I'm glad you think this is funny, Camille. I don't think it's funny. I'm just excited that you finally get to tell him what's going on. Well, where do I start? Kimmy asked Camille. Tell him what happened this morning. Fine. Kimmy turned to look at Bobby. Are you ready for this? Yeah, I'm ready to hear what's going on with you. Okay, well, when I woke up this morning, I went to my window and parted the curtains. I saw a dark swirl outside my window. What kind of dark swirl? I don't know. But anyways, I watched a white mist come out of the center of it, and without thinking, I opened my window. What? You're right, you are crazy. Yes, I know. Anyway, the white swirl traveled over to my bedroom door, opened it, and went into my parents' room. What did you do? Well, I followed it. Oh, gosh, what happened? Well, the white mist went over to the wall of their room and moved a mirror. Behind the mirror, there was a small, dark blue circle on the wall. The mist opened it, and I saw a key that illuminated the center of the room. And before I knew it, the mist had put it in my hand. Wow, are you serious? Kimmy nodded, reached into her pocket, and handed him the key. Did you get caught? No, thank goodness. When the mist put the key in my hand, I heard the stairs creak and ran to my room before my mother caught me. So what's this key to? Kimmy watched Bobby jiggle it in his hand. I haven't figured it out yet. I know it's not to my bedroom door. I tried it and it didn't work. That's weird. I know. So what are you going to do? Kimmy shrugged. I don't know. I keep having these dreams about my grandmother, and she keeps telling me that I need to find a book. What book? I don't know. I've been having these dreams for months now, and it's always the same thing. I see an old building, and in it my mother is screaming at me to be a good girl. My grandmother is telling me to find a book, and that's when the ghost arrives. The ghost walks back and forth in front of the window in the old building. Okay, then what happens? I usually wake up. So this morning, my mom took me down here so she could prance around. You know how moms love attention. Yep. Anyway, when we went back to the house earlier this morning, I had a eerie feeling when we pulled up to the driveway. I don't know why, but I glanced up at the attic window and I saw the ghost that's always in my dreams. What? Are you sure? Oh, I'm sure. What do you think it means? I think it means I need to sneak up to the attic and find the book my grandmother's so adamant about me finding. The only problem is my mother keeps the attic locked. Hey, maybe this is the key. Bobby studied it for a moment before Kimmy shook her head. I doubt it. Nothing in life is that easy. I know, but you should try it and see if it unlocks the attic door. I will. The hard part is going to be sneaking up there without getting caught. I know. If that happens, I'm not sure what your mother will do to you. Me either. But I've got to do it. If this is the key, I can find out what my grandmother is hunting, why my grandmother is haunting my dreams. Yeah, but I don't want your mother to catch you. Me either. Kimmy looked at him. But I've got to take this chance. Something is going on. I know the book would answer some questions. At least I think it might. This whole thing is weird. I know. How do you think I feel? Confused. Yeah. So when are you going to tell me about Camille? Kimmy smiled at Bobby. I guess I'll tell you now, since you already think I'm crazy. Yeah, pretty much, so keep talking. Let me decide how crazy I think you are. Right now, I think you're only kind of crazy. Funny. Camille fluttered her wings. Oh, I knew I liked him, Kimmy. He's such a nice, decent boy, so tell him now. You've already kept me waiting longer than you should have. I mean, you could have started this whole conversation about me and not the stupid mist you saw this morning. I had to start there, Camille. This whole thing wouldn't have sounded right if I would have started with you. Oh, yes, it would have. At least it would have started out exciting. For a minute there, I thought for sure I was going to start yawning again. Okay, Camille, I get that you think my life is one big bore. You can say that again. I mean, I don't remember a time in your life when you've ever gotten into trouble. Yeah, I'd like to keep it that way, Kimmy snapped. Okay, so obviously Camille is still here. Bobby smiled. Yeah, she is. So, tell me about her. Okay, well, it all started when I was about 3. I remember seeing Camille for the first time. I thought it was cool to have her to play with. Little did I know at the time that she was a fairy. A what? Bobby asked. You heard me. A fairy. You mean like colorful wings, pretty face, all that? Oh, Kimmy, he's so smart. He nailed it. I do have a pretty face, and my wings are colorful. Tell him how gorgeous my gown is. Tell him how it has swirls of pink running through it. Don't forget to tell him how beautiful my hair is. Camille, please, will you let me talk without interrupting? Oh, I'm trying, but I get this way when people talk about me. Don't forget the part about how funny I am. Camille, I tell him everything and get done much faster if you stop talking. Okay, then hurry up. Kimmy bit her lower lip. Where was I? The part about the fairy. Yes, she is beautiful and funny, and I guess I was a lucky kid to have her around, even though I didn't understand why. So she's been around your whole life, and you never told me. Bobby looked hurt. I couldn't tell you. I remember wanting to tell you, but I couldn't. Why? I was sworn to secrecy. And at the time, I didn't realize it. But this morning, everything changed. You mean with the mist and all? I mean with all of it. I'm obviously allowed to tell you about Camille, the book, and my grandmother wants me to find. Yeah, but none of it makes sense to me. Why is there a fairy in your life? I don't know. All I can tell you is that this morning I went into my closet to get dressed, and that's when Camille and a guy named Wanbuyu appeared. Wanbuyu told me that it's time, whatever that means. And he said I needed to tell you about Camille and the dreams I've been having. He also said I've got a lot of work to do, and that time was of the essence, or something like that. So, who is Wanbuyu? I don't know. He looked like a warrior or something that I saw once in my history books. Man, this whole thing is confusing me. You try to be me. I've spent my life thinking that I was lucky to have Camille, and now all this other stuff happened. I'd trade places with you in a second because I don't know what's going on. All I know is that one boo you wanted me to tell you about Camille and my grandmother. Now I need to swear you to secrecy, just like I had to do for so many years. You know I'd never say anything, especially when you ask me not to. I, for one, believe him, Kimmy, Camille shouted. Camille, do you have to shout? You scared me. Oh, sorry. I just wanted you to know that I trust him. Yeah, I trust him too. He's been my best friend since I've been born. I wish I could hear Camille. That would make this whole thing much easier to believe. Kimmy looked at Bobby annoyed. Well, I don't know why. You can't hear her. I thought for sure you'd be able to once I told you what happened, but you don't need to make me feel bad. I didn't mean to. It's just that I'm trying to understand everything that's going on and everything you've told me, and it's a lot. Don't you think I know that? I know it's a lot, which is why I should have kept it to myself. Bobby grabbed Kimmy's hand. Listen, I'm sorry for what I said. I didn't mean to upset you. Bobby smiled. Now it's time for us to meet Dave and Manning at Taco Bell. Oh, that's right. Kimmy stood. Not so fast, Camille said. Ask him about a secret. Okay, so Bobby, Camille said you had a secret? Bobby smirked. Really? Yeah, really. That's weird. Bobby, do you have a secret? No, now let's go meet our friends. I'm starving. He's lying to you, but you'll find out soon enough. What's Camille saying now? That you're lying to me, but I'll find out soon enough. Whatever, Bobby said. Once Kimmy and Bobby walked into Taco Bell, they saw their two friends already sitting at the table, and Kimmy and Bobby ordered their food before they joined them. What's up? Manny asked. Not much, just hanging out. And of course the two of you are always hanging out, Dave said, nodding towards Kimmy. Kimmy smiled. Of course we're always hanging out. That's what you do when you've got a best friend, Dave. You'll learn that maybe one day when you've got a best friend. Dave glared at Kimmy. I have best friends, Kimmy. Difference is I don't need to be with them all the time. Oh, he's lying, Kimmy. He doesn't have best friends because he runs his mouth when he needs to keep it closed, Camille said. Kimmy didn't answer her because Dave and Manning couldn't find out about Camille. Did you hear me? I said he doesn't have best friends. Kimmy stood. I've got to use the ladies' room. She walked away, went to the bathroom, and turned around. Where are you, Camille? Oh, look up. Kimmy looked up, and Camille was flying around near the ceiling. What are you doing way up there? I'm keeping my distance. I know when you're mad at me. And right now, I get the feeling that I said something annoying, so I'm staying up here until I know. Yes, you said something annoying. Dave and Manning aren't supposed to know about you. So I would appreciate it if you would keep quiet when they're around. Can't have you whispering in my ear things that I can't answer when I'm with them. Camille twitched her tiny nose, like she always did when she was upset. Okay, okay. I was only trying to help. I'll just keep my lips together until you're alone. Camille, I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. Just that all of this happened so fast. I don't know how to handle it. What do you mean? I've been around forever. Kimmy sighed. I know. Just forget it. Now let's get back out there. When Kimmy approached the table, she knew something was wrong. She could tell by the expression on Bobby's face. Oh, Kimmy, glad you're back, Dave laughed. So, tell me, do you know about this treasure chest Bobby found? What? No, Kimmy answered. Well, sit down and listen. Bobby's telling us that this morning he went into an abandoned building on Mill Street to check out, and he found a treasure chest buried in the corner under some wood. And now he wants us to go with him and see the treasure he found. It's true, Kimmy, Bobby said. See, I told you he had a secret, Camille shouted, making Kimmy jump. Oh, sorry, I forgot I'm not allowed to talk when you're with your friends. Why didn't you tell me? Kimmy looked hurt for a moment. Because I wanted to tell all of you at one time. Kimmy nodded as she sipped her drink. So let me tell you what Bobby said, Dave winked. You already did. Is it true, Bobby? Did you really go into an old deserted warehouse and find an old chest buried under some wood in the corner filled with treasure? Yes, I did, Bobby answered. And now you want us to go and see the treasure you found? Kimmy stopped talking long enough to swallow a lump that had risen in her throat. Yeah, Kimmy, I do. Wait a second, Dave blurted. Bobby, we all know you're not that brave. Face it, you'd never go into an empty warehouse alone. Dave, stop it, Kimmy scolded. Stop it, Dave mocked her. You know it's true. He's not the type who would wander into an empty warehouse, especially alone. Kimmy rolled her eyes at him in annoyance. Face it, Kimmy, Bobby wouldn't go in a deserted warehouse. He's not brave enough. Kimmy glared at Dave and was just about to speak, but Bobby beat her to it. Believe what you want, Dave, but it's true. And you're right, most of the time I wouldn't go into an empty warehouse alone, but today I did. And if you don't believe me, I'll show it to you. Give me a break. Is this a trick or something? Their other friend Manning asked. Just forget it. Bobby looked at them. Dave snickered. Don't get mad, Bobby. You've got to understand that we're freshmen now, and we don't believe in that sort of thing anymore. Bobby shrugged. Fine, don't believe me, but when I'm rich and famous, I don't want to hear about it. You won't? Manny laughed. Kimmy watched the scene unfold and felt sorry for Bobby. Dave and Manning always picked on him, and it wasn't fair. Ever since they were young, Bobby has always been the brunt of their jokes. She's imagined it was because Bobby was such a nice guy. He was more mature than most boys his age, and she knew that was the reason Dave and Manning taunted him. Bobby was also honest with his feelings and told people the truth whether they wanted to hear it or not. Those two traits were just some of the reasons Bobby was Kimmy's best friend. She could talk to him about almost anything, and he was always there to listen. At times, she knew it bothered Bobby when she told him about certain things going on in her life, but she did anyway. She glanced over at the three boys, stood, and went over to Bobby on the other side of the table. She playfully punched him in the arm. If you found treasure, I want to see it. Her voice cracked with emotion, thinking about the legend her grandmother Culver had told her when she was 8. Besides, how fair would it be if you were rich and I wasn't? Girls like money a lot. I'm willing to go with you, Bobby. Bobby smiled, stood, and looked at his other two friends, who laughed. You two run along. Go find the treasure. We'll be at the roller rink later if you want to catch up. Dave teased. Okay, fine. Have it your way, but if what Bobby's telling us is the truth, you'll both lose. Kimmy was upset, and it wasn't lost on any of them. We'll take our chances. Manny laughed again. Bobby turned to look at Kimmy. You ready then? Yeah, I am. I've always wanted to find treasure. So, Bobby Martin, lead the way to my richness. Kimmy felt her heart flutter with the thought of finding treasure, and she smiled at Bobby, remembering how the two of them used to draw treasure maps for the field that was down the street from their houses when they were younger. She also recalled how the two of them would dig through the field, pretending to search for the hidden treasure. I hope you don't mind walking, Bobby stated, but it's not too far away from here. Bobby, why would you say that? We walk all the time because we're not old enough to drive yet. Kimmy grabbed her drink off the table, took Bobby's arm as Dave and Manning continued to laugh, and the two of them left Taco Bell. Once they started walking, Kimmy glanced at Bobby. I'm sorry about what happened with Dave and Manning. They're just jerks, Camille shouted. Camille, we know they're jerks. Bobby smiled. Don't worry about Dave and Manning. I'm used to them teasing me that way. Yeah, but still, Kimmy paused. I bet if I looked up jerk in the dictionary, Dave's picture would be right there next to the word. Bobby chuckled. That's a good one. But like I said, don't worry about it. But I do. Dave always picks on you, and it makes me so mad. He shouldn't. He's been doing it forever. I know, and that's only because he gets away with it. But someday he'll be taught a lesson. My mom always tells me you can't treat people differently than you want to be treated, or eventually it'll come back and bite you. Bobby chuckled again. Don't let them ruin your day. It's not worth it. Besides, I'm over it. I know what I told them is the truth, and that's all I need to know. Kimmy nodded, fell silent. She knew Bobby wouldn't talk about Dave and Manning anymore. Ask him why he didn't tell you when you two were sitting at the fountain. Would have saved a lot of grief from those Taco Bell jerks. What's she saying now? Bobby asked. She wanted me to ask you why you didn't tell me when we were at the fountain. I already told you I wanted to tell you all together. It's a lame excuse. He knows how mean Dave is, so why didn't he save himself the grief and just tell you? Camille asked. Camille, I don't know. We'll find out. She wants to know why you tell them when all Dave does is give you grief. I thought because we were older, he'd grow up some. Oh, he should have known better, Kimmy. I'll take Dave a long time to grow up. I think he knows that now, Camille. How far is the warehouse? I don't know, several blocks at least. So how'd you find the treasure? Kimmy asked. Well, earlier today I felt like taking a walk. You know how I am. Love to walk around, especially in the summer. Anyway, as I was walking down Mill Street, I saw these abandoned warehouses and decided today would be a good day to investigate. I don't know why I wanted to see what was in them. Maybe because it got so hot out here, and I thought the warehouses would be cooler, so it's where I ended up. Kimmy squinted against the sun, and she glanced up at him, and they both stopped. How did you find the treasure, though? Well, I went into the biggest warehouse first, though through a broken window at the back of the building. I got to tell you, it was really dark when I went in and dusty. I could tell that it was old and hadn't been used for quite a few years. Anyways, I saw a bunch of wood in the corner, and I saw something glittering, so I crossed the warehouse and started pulling wood off the stack. This is going to sound weird, but I felt like something was coaxing me to do it. Yeah, you're right, that's weird. Continue. Well, as I reached the bottom, I saw an old wooden treasure chest. Oh my gosh, you must have been surprised. That's putting it lightly. At first, I told myself, leave it alone and get out of the warehouse, but curiosity won, and I opened it. What'd you see? Treasure. No kidding, Kimmy laughed. I know that's silly. What kind of treasure? Every kind you could ever want. There were different colored jewels and coins. Oh my God, this is so exciting. I can't wait. So after you saw the jewels and coins, what did you do? I closed the lid and met you at the fountain. That's it? That's it? What did you expect me to say? I expected you to say something besides that. Well, sorry to disappoint you, but that's all I did. Now, if you don't mind, can we start walking again? I want to hurry. Don't want anyone else to find it. Tell me how much treasure there is. Kimmy's blue eyes sparkled with excitement. Bobby shrugged. Enough that we couldn't carry all of it without help. Really? So you're not making it up? I'm not making it up. So when you found the treasure, were you scared? Not exactly. At first, I thought I was dreaming. Like I said, the chest was full of different kinds of jewels. Every color anyone could ever want. That's cool. Can't wait to see it. Bobby cleared his throat. Listen, before we get there, I've got to tell you something. Kimmy looked up at Bobby and noticed his broad shoulders had become gone. How noticed how broad his shoulders had become. Gone was the baby fat that she remembered. Now he stood beside her, pure muscle. Kimmy knew it was because of the different sports he played, and she had often wondered how he could keep up with everything and still manage to get good grades. Found herself was she herself was on the dance team and cheerleading squad. The two of them had grown up together, along with David Manning, Renee, and Shelby, for as long as Kimmy could remember, and they had always been friends. The six of them were inseparable, their mothers were too. Despite the arguments they had sometimes, nothing stopped them from being friends. Not even Dave's ill-tempered manner. Kimmy thought about Dave again and the argument she had with him. Their personalities went together like bologna and peanut butter. And out of the group, he was her least favorite. Bobby suddenly waved his hand in front of her face, making her thoughts rush back to reality. Sorry, Bobby, what were you saying? I was saying that when I opened the lid of the chest, I picked up the red jewel and saw something weird. Something weird? Like what? Kimmy stared down the street. I saw these things inside the jewel that weren't normal looking, not like we are anyway. And you lost me. What do you mean? Yeah, you lost me too. If you ask me, you're the weird looking ones, not any of us. Camille, what's that supposed to mean? What'd she say? She said we're the weird looking ones. You're correct, Camille. That's exactly what I said. Okay, Camille, heard you. Now please be quiet so Bobby can tell me about the jewels. Bobby sighed. When I picked up the jewel, like I said, these things appeared. What things? Do you mean things that are alive, like people or something? I guess you could say that they're people, but they look different. What do you mean? Just what I said. Look, you'll see when you get there. Okay, Kimmy paused. Could you at least tell me what the things were doing? At first, they were sitting around a campfire. Then, all of a sudden, I think they knew I was watching because all at once they turned and squinted eyes and stared at me. Oh my God, what did you do? I stared at them. I was shocked because I wasn't expecting to see anything inside the jewel. And finally, I put it back in the treasure chest. I don't blame you. I would have done the same thing. Oh, no. The two of you are so dramatic. I know what those people look like, and I happen to believe they are gorgeous. Camille, please, will you let Bobby finish without interrupting? I can't help it. It's the way I was raised. What do you call it, Kimmy? Oh, yeah, I was blessed with the gift of gab. So, I've noticed. But right now, Camille, I wish you'd stop. Fine. Tell Bobby to continue, and once you reach the warehouse, don't ask me for help because I won't give it to you. Good, Kimmy answered. Please continue, Bobby. Bobby nodded. Trust me, they didn't look friendly. Do you think it's safe for us to go in there? I don't know, but we've got to. I don't want someone to find it. If that happens, we might miss our chance to be rich, he chuckled. You've got a good point there. I'm telling you, Kimmy, do not go into the warehouse, Camille said. Why, Camille? Because you're not supposed to do this. I just know nothing good is going to come from the two of you venturing into a dirty warehouse. Camille, please, Bobby and I are old enough to make our decisions, so we're going into the warehouse and you can't stop us. Why is she so upset? I don't know. Let me ask. I heard him, Kimmy. I'm upset because if you go in the warehouse, I can't go with you. Why can't you go with us? You go everywhere else with me. Why is this different? Because it is. I'm telling you, Kimmy, not to go in the warehouse. I think something bad is going to happen. It's a warehouse, Camille. Nothing bad is going to happen. Tell her that I'll protect you, Bobby said. Oh, he thinks he'll be able to protect you, but he won't be able to. So just save me a sore head and so save me the sore head I'm sure to get if the two of you don't listen. Camille, it's called a headache. Yeah, so you've told me, but I call it a sore head. Why is she so upset? Bobby asked. Kimmy shrugged. I don't know, but she said she'll get a sore head if we go in there and not listen to her. Tell her we're sorry, but we've got to go in there. We don't have a choice. Camille folded her arms and tapped her foot. Tell him I heard what he said and the two of you are going to be sorry. Camille said we're going to be sorry. Tell her it'll be all right. No, it won't. You two need to listen. It won't be all right. No, my body is tingling, and I'm going to disappear. What do you mean? Just what I said. Goodbye for now, Kimmy. What did she say? She said goodbye. What? Why? Because we weren't listening to her about the warehouse. But we've got to go in there. I know. They fell silent until Kimmy asked, what did they look like? The people in the jewel? Yeah. Little men. Little men like dwarfs or something? Kind of, but not really. Look, it's too hard to describe them, but I will say I've never seen anything like them, not around here anyway. Did it scare you? Yeah, but don't go telling Manny or Dave that. They already think I'm a wimp, and I don't want either one to have any more ammo against me. Face it, when it comes down to me, David Manning, I rank last for bravery. Sometimes I wonder if anything scares those two. Oh, I'm sure there's plenty that scares them, but they'll never admit it. And what you tell me stays between us. I would never do that to you. Besides, you know I don't get along with Dave. I think he can be the biggest jerk. I also think Manning goes along with him, so Dave will leave him alone. But to tell you the truth, I think they pick on you because you'll say when something isn't right. What do you mean? I mean that Elsa and I were talking yesterday on the phone about all three of you, and we both agreed that you keep it real. You know that just because you're a guy, you still admit that you're scared, or when people do things that aren't cool, you'll refuse to go along with it. You don't care what people think, and that's cool. So, anyways, Elsa and I think you're brave for standing up to the kids about what is right or wrong. I don't know what to say. You don't have to say anything, silly. I just wanted you to know how we feel. Oh, by the way, Elsa and I both think Manny and Dave are real wimps. Neither of them have the courage you have. I mean, if you really think about it, they always have to be tough, but they never admit when something's wrong. And if they freak out, or if they're freaked right out of their skin. So, what are you saying? I'm saying don't change, Bobby Martin. You're doing a fine job. Thanks, Kimmy. No problem. I do have another question, though. Okay. If you found treasure, why didn't you bring a jewel back with you? I'm only asking because if you would have done that, you could have shown Dave and Manning, and I bet they would have believed you. He shrugged. You're right, but I never thought about doing that. I mean, the treasure doesn't belong to me, and everything happened so fast, and when I saw those weird looking things inside the jewel, I threw it back in the chest, slammed the lid, and got out of there. Yeah, I would have done the same thing. Kimmy shivered as she stared down the street, which was deserted. She felt the heat from the hot sun beating down on her back and was grateful when she saw the abandoned warehouse. Is that it? She pointed to the chipped dark blue building and a cracked cement parking lot. Yep, that's it. Come on. Bobby held his hand out and she took it. When they reached the warehouse door, Bobby stopped. Are you ready? Yes, I can't wait. Okay, but before I crawl through the window again to unlock the door, I've got to tell you one more thing. Okay, what? When I saw those weird things, they said something to me that didn't make any sense. Like what? They said that one of my good friends is a witch. What? Who? They didn't tell me that. Are you sure that's what they said? Oh, I'm positive. All the little creatures were chanting it. Kimmy shivered again. Despite the heat of the day, the whole situation was scaring her. Oh, great. I feel better now. Thanks for sharing that with me. Sorry, I just thought I should let you know. Do you still want to go in? Of course I do. I want to find out what's going on. Me too. Bobby pulled himself up with ease and slid through the window. A few seconds later, Kimmy watched the door being pushed open, and soon she joined Bobby inside. Both of them waited a moment until her eyes adjusted to the dinner light of the warehouse. It definitely feels better in here, Kimmy stated. Yeah, it's cooler, that's for sure. Come on, treasure's over there. Bobby pointed to the corner of the far end of the huge room, and Kimmy heard an echo of his voice in the big empty warehouse. Let me close the door first, he grunted, and he pushed the heavy door shut, which echoed at its close. It's kind of creepy in here, Kimmy whispered. I know, I still can't believe I came in here. I can, you're braver than you think. Thanks, I've always liked that one thing about you. You're very sweet. I don't think there's a mean bone inside your body unless Dave's around. He laughed. Now, come on. Bobby grabbed her hand and pulled her across the warehouse. After Bobby took all the wood off the treasure chest, they both knelt down. He slowly lifted the heavy lid, and it moaned as it came open. Kimmy's breath caught in her throat. Oh my gosh, it's real. Look at all the beautiful jewels. She stared into a ray of colors that were glittering and winking. She reached out to touch a jewel. Be careful, Kimmy. I will. She picked up a big blue gemstone. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. She laid the stone in the palm of her hand, and Bobby reached over and touched it. Then he picked up the red ruby that he held earlier when he saw the little men. What he saw when he saw the same vision, he looked at Kimmy and saw confusion in her face. What's wrong? I don't know. I keep seeing knights on horses. Kimmy told him with her eyes closed. What? Bobby put his red gemstone back in the treasure chest. Let me see that. Kimmy placed the stone in his hand, and instantly Bobby saw the knights on horses running through startling green fields. He dropped the stone back in the chest. Do you see them? Kimmy wanted to know. Yeah, I saw them. Now I want you to see these strange little creatures. Picked up the red stone, put it in Kimmy's trembling hand. What are they? She asked, staring at the little people sitting around the campfire dressed in rags, with big shoes that curled on the top. I don't know, but this whole thing is weird, huh? Yeah, it is, and I want to know what these stones are and why people are trapped in them. Yeah, me too. Bobby took the stone Kimmy was holding and put it back in the treasure chest. What color do you want next? Kimmy asked him. I don't know. What do you want? The green one, I guess. It reminds me of your eyes, but before I pick it up, let's hold hands. Okay. Bobby held his hand out and picked up the stone when they felt a vibration. Both of them knew they were in trouble, and then all went dark. When Kimmy opened her eyes, she saw Bobby sitting next to her at a long table before a huge fire. Foreign music was playing, and as the two of them looked around, they were frightened. Where are we? Kimmy whispered. I don't know. Bobby kept his voice low. What kind of creatures are those? I don't know. I've never seen anything like it before. Kimmy looked at the creatures gathered around the table. They looked like dwarves, but they weren't. The things had long necks like an ostrich, their eyes slanted upwards, and each had a turquoise jewel at their temple. What kind of creatures are they? Kimmy whispered. Heck if I know. What's this stuff on our plate? Kimmy asked. I don't know, but don't eat it. I'm not. Kimmy stared at the sparrow's head lying raw on her plate. The bird's dead eyes were vacantly staring. When the two of them heard the trumpet, they turned their attention to the head of the table and watched a huge creature walk in, then take a seat. Okay, I've had enough, Bobby. Get us out of here right now. I don't know how. I don't know where we are, how we got here. Then figure something out. I mean, have you noticed the thing at the head of the table? Looks like a pig's head on a human's body. That's not my idea of fun afternoon. Besides, it's drooling all over the table and I feel like I'm going to be sick. Okay, what would you like me to do? Silence! The roar of the pig man stopped all activity in the room. His eyes looked like those of an eagle which stared directly at Bobby and Kimmy. Who are these creatures? When no one answered, he roared, Why are there creatures at my table? Both creatures that dare join me for dinner, as ugly as they are, should be thrown to the floor. They're to take their meal like the other animals around here. Excuse me? Kimmy blurted before Bobby could stop her. Did you just say that my friend and I are ugly? And we should be thrown to the floor? Kimmy, be quiet. To the floor with you, the pig yelled. When one of the dwarfish-looking creatures grabbed their arms, they both struggled, but the little people were stronger and threw both of them to the floor, where they landed with a thud. Timmy glared at Bobby. Get me out of here. I don't care how. You have to do it, but figure it out. I don't want to be here anymore. I know. Now start crawling towards the door, right there. Bobby nodded towards the door that was next to them and watched as Kimmy started inching her way. Now go, Bobby told her forcefully, and as soon as Kimmy got out the door, Bobby followed. Once they were outside, they heard the pig man yelling, After them! The two of them took off running and never looked back. When they finally stopped running, confident they had lost the creatures, Kimmy fell to her knees in the grass exhausted and breathing heavy. I don't know where we are, but I want to go home. Her voice was choppy. Me too. Whatever happened isn't cool. But I don't know how to get us back. Bobby sat next to her and the two of them looked around. They were in the middle of a brilliant green field filled with wildflowers that neither of them seen before. Both shielded their eyes against the brilliance of the colors, which instantly made their eyes burn and water. Through blurred vision, they noticed the fields they were in was surrounded by weirdly looking twisted trees. The bark was violet blue and the leaves were crimson. These are the strangest trees I've ever seen, Kimmy stated. Yeah, if they are trees. Sure they are. What else would they be? I don't know, but right now nothing's going to fool me. The colors from the wildflowers are hurting my eyes. Mine too. Bobby lifted his head. A hand shielded his eyes and saw the reflection of something glare brightly. Do you see that? See what? Did you see that flicker over there? No, the only things I see are all the bright colors that are burning my eyes. Look over there, Bobby pointed. Kimmy squinted hard. Yeah, I see it. What is it? I don't know. It's almost like someone is using an object to reflect the sun. Should we go find out what's going on? No way. We stay here. We don't know who's over there, and after what happened back there, I'm not in the spying mood. Where are we going to go? What are we going to do? Kimmy asked sadly. I don't know yet. Where do you think we are? Kimmy, I have no clue. Well, personally, I think the jewels had something to do with it. You think? I know they did. Our life was normal until a couple hours ago. When the flicker of light came stronger, Bobby stood and pulled Kimmy to her feet. Let's walk. I want to know what's around here. There's got to be somewhere better to hide until we figure out what to do and how we're going to get home. Yeah, I agree. Look, the flash is coming closer. I don't want what it is to catch up with us. I know. Now let's walk faster and talk about what we're going to do. Bobby pulled Kimmy through the field into the trees. And finally, their eyes felt better. I've never seen colors so bright before. Now I just want to go home, Bobby. I don't like it here. Me either, but try to stay focused, okay? We're not going to get home any quicker by complaining about it, you know. I know. Look, over there, through the trees. Do you see how thick the bark is? Yeah, I see. Good. That's where we're going. Okay, but keep your eyes open. I don't want anything popping out at us. It won't, but if it does, we'll deal with it. Now, hold my hand tightly. Don't let go no matter what happens, okay? I won't. Kimmy squeezed his hand. The two of them ventured deeper into the thick, twisted forest, and neither one noticed the little sprinkle of stardust dancing behind them. All right, that was the end of chapter 1. What do you guys think? Hey, Lloyd. Appreciate you. What do you guys think of the story so far? It's so weird because I can hear my mother reading this to me. What's going on? Lucky James, E-Rig Ribs. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. I'm glad you like it. Enjoying it. All right, excellent. People to check your child-friendly channel on Pokemon cards. Hey, Lori, it's good to see you, Bill. I'm glad you're here. I'm gonna jump in the shower real quick. BRB, no worries at all, Boo. Appreciate you. Sweet, imaginative, right? Enjoying it. Very good setup so far. I like it, right? I have no idea where this is heading. It's been so long since I've read this story, and I didn't realize the chapters were a little bit longer. My coffee's already getting chilly. Really appreciate you guys being here and sharing this with me. Wow, that was about an hour already. She writes how I really, really like authors to write. I don't like when they're all like, I know, she said. Now look over there, he said. Yeah, I see, she said. Good, that's where we're going, he said. Like it's just a conversation. So I'm trying to change my voice so you guys know who's talking, and I hope I'm doing an okay job. Didn't feel like an hour at all. Figure about 50 minutes because I started 10 after, but let me see, because that was 27 pages, that chapter. The type is big, though, so maybe it just felt longer than it really was because I was turning more pages. Let me see. Okay. All right, we'll see if they start getting shorter. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate you, Charlie. All right, y'all, let me see how long this chapter is. All right, this one's a little bit shorter. Here we go. Ah, I love it. I love it. I got to do some sorting myself. Chapter 2. She is here among us, but she is not alone, one of the pixie dust angels told the Queen of the Woods. And, the Queen demanded, she is with some boy. Both look strange, if you ask me. Strange how? The Queen asked. Strange, you know, they don't look like we do. How do they look? The Queen turned and looked at the pixie angel with her purple eyes that sat in the middle of her, with her purple eye that sat in the middle of her forehead. I don't know. They have things like the little people in the Vanduzas. I don't know. They have things like the little people in Vanduza. What things might you be referring to? The Queen's voice rose impatiently. You know those things that the little people get around with? The Queen laughed, revealing yellowish teeth. Oh, the things the little people in Vanduza refer to as legs. That's it. The pixie angel did an excited flip and then nodded her head. What else? They have those weird eyes like the little people, one on either side of their orb. As a matter of making this conversation smaller, they're just like the little people, but much bigger. Much bigger how? The Queen stared at the pixie angel flying in front of her, fluttering its colorful wings. I don't know, I guess if I had to say, why, yes, they're tall like the trees. That tall? Well, maybe a tad bit shorter, but not much. So both are tall like trees, you say? Yes, Queen. Both have everything the little people do on their vessels? Yes, Queen, they do. However, you know the little people call their vessels bodies. Yes, so I've heard. I've also heard they call their orbs heads. Queen tapped one of her tentacles. Do these tree people fly? Not that I've witnessed. So they have no powers. The Queen glared at the pixie angel. I don't know, Queen. Is that the best you can do, Rosello? Queen, I asked if that was the best information you could bring to me. You've disturbed my feeding over nothing of importance. The Queen jumped on a wall, agitated as the pixie angel stared and flew over to her. Rosello, tell me again how the tree giants look like the little people. I told you they got the same resemblance to the little people. The difference is they're tall as trees. That will be all for now. The Queen lifted her tentacle off the wall and shooed the pixie angel away. But, Queen, what should we do? Those tree people, they'll take over. Nonsense. Now leave me alone. I must compute what you've told me. Don't take too long computing. The creature of the woods have already communicated that these tree people will surely take over our world. That's complete and utter nonsense. Now leave me. I've got a lot to compute, and I don't need your pixie dust irritating my nose. Very well. The pixie angel fluttered her wings and then disappeared. Once the pixie angel was out of sight, the Queen crawled over to her sword, pulled it out of the sheath, rubbed it twice, and Vixbit materialized. Yes, Queen, what is it? Vixbit asked, annoyed. There's talk of giant creatures in the woods. Yes, Queen, that's true. The Queen laughed, irritated. You're a spy for me, Vixbit. I should have heard this from you, not Rosello the angel pixie. I was busy gathering information to bring you, my dearest Queen. Vixbit bowed his tiny head. Very well, then speak. The Queen looked at him with her purple eye. There are giants in the woods, one male, one female, but I don't know where they came from yet. Vixbit told her from the blade of the sword where he landed. His huge dark eyes filled most of his face, and he rubbed his tiny legs together. You are by far the best spy I have, Vixbit. Why would you not know where these giants come from? The Queen was impatient. If they just entered the woods, Queen, I'm gathering information on them. When you summoned me, I had landed on the female creature's arm and was privy to the conversation she was having with the creature boy. What did you hear? The Queen squeezed Vixbit with her tentacles. So far, they don't know where they are. They think they're lost. Vixbit moaned. You know who she is. The Queen threw Vixbit across the room. You know what she wants, so gather your army and stop them. Yes, Queen. Do it now and don't come back until you finish the job. Yes, Queen. Vixbit, you're small enough to find out much. Stay close to the giants. Then, when the time is right, I want you to destroy them. Yes, Queen. But if I'm guessing right, isn't the girl a witch? Yes, you imbecile, she is. Is she a high, powerful witch? Bigspit asked nervously. Yes, which is why you must gather your armies, then destroy her. But what if she uses her powers? Vixbit, you should worry about me using my power. If I must do that, not only will you die, but the entire army of the woods as well. Now be gone, seek and destroy, then come back with a report. If you don't, she snapped her tentacle hard against the wall, crumbling it. Yes, Queen, Vixbit told her, and then he vanished. Changing scenes back to our protagonists. Do you see the cave over there? Kimmy pointed. Yeah, but it looks blocked by something. Bobby stared at the opening of a cave tucked between trees. The cave looked as if it were made of rock, and Bobby was puzzled because the rock was the same blue-violet as the tree bark. The opening of the cave was etched in gold and shimmered. From the distance, it was hard to tell by what. As the two of them approached the cave, they saw the opening was filled with a white liquid substance that flowed into the black dirt, turning it a milky brown. Come on, let's go over and check it out. Uh, if it if it looks safe, we can hide in there until we figure out what to do. Okay. When Bobby and Kimmy reached the cave, they noticed the white substance started to flow harder. Do you think someone lives here? Kimmy asked. Hard to say. Right now, I don't care. I'd rather take my chances inside there than out here. Come on. The two of them ran through the white, milky curtain of the cave, felt the coolness of whatever it was that drenched them, and made their shoes sticky. Once they were in the cave, it was dry and the dirt was black as night. They both looked around and saw nothing. They sat down on the ground, and Kimmy leaned against the wall as she pushed her wet, clingy hair out of her face. I just want to go home. Listen, Kimmy, do you still have the yellow and blue jewel? I don't know. So much has happened. I wouldn't be surprised if I dropped it. Check your pockets. Kimmy stood, checked her pockets of her jeans, and pulled out both jewels. Good. Now let's hold hands. Let's see if it'll be enough to get us home, Bobby said. Okay. Kimmy laid the jewels on one hand and held Bobby's in the other, both of them focused on going home. When nothing happened, Bobby opened his eyes. Maybe we need my green jewel too? Bobby placed the green jewel in Kimmy's palm with her other ones, but nothing happened. Okay, I guess we need to think of something else. Apparently it's not working. Do you realize how upset our parents are going to be when we're not home in time for dinner? I'm going to be grounded forever. My mother will make sure of it. Yep, I know. How can we let them know? We can't, Kimmy. We're stuck. I'm sorry I involved you with any of this. It's all my fault. No, it's not. I agreed to do everything with you. Come on, don't beat yourself up over it. Hey, do you think our phones work? I doubt it. And they both pulled out their phones and they noticed they were searching for service. Great, Kimmy mumbled. When the two of them heard the foreign music right outside the cave, they swung their eyes to look through the sheet of white foam. On the other side, they saw the pig man from the dining hall in which they had escaped. Bobby put his finger to his lips, indicating to be quiet. I know you creatures are in there. I can smell you all the way out here. Kimmy continued to stare at Bobby until she heard the loud roar. The pig man found us, Kimmy whispered, and he's not happy. Do you think he's going to try to come in here? I don't know what that thing is going to do. Bobby's voice was soft. Come out here right now, the pigman yelled into the cave. When neither one responded, they watched in horror as the pigman stepped through the white foam. Moments later, the pigman's eagle eyes landed upon the two of them. His teeth shone brilliant with the dimness of the cave, and Kimmy thought they resembled alligator teeth. You, he pointed at Kimmy, you are the ugliest creature who talks too much, so you shall die first. Besides, I know you're a coward. The creature lifted his finger towards Kimmy, and both watched in fascination and horror as yellow fog rolled out of it. Do something, Kimmy whispered, barely able to find her voice. I don't know what to do, Bobby whispered back. Get up, the pigman yelled. No, Kimmy yelled back at him. I said get up right now, or you'll be sorry. No, I'm not getting up. If you want me, you'll have to come and get me. Kimmy stayed where she was, and they both watched the yellow fog traveling towards them. Who are you? What do you want? Bobby finally asked. The creature before them laughed, and it sounded like the laugh of a hyena. I said, get up, you creature. He pointed again at Kimmy, who cringed but stayed where she was. Finally, the creature shrugged. Fine, have it your way. He sucked in his breath and then blew the yellow fog towards them. Cover your nose and mouth with your hand, Kimmy. Don't breathe it in, Bobby told her. As she did, the creature took another step. You're both foolish creatures, covering your nose and mouth. Won't stop the power of the spell I just cast. The cave trembled. Listen to me. Listen to me. Bobby lifted his hand to get the words out. As soon as I say go, get up and try and run past him. What? Are you crazy? Have you lost your mind? He fills the entire entrance. How are we going to get past him? Kimmy wanted to know. I don't know. You've got a better idea? Bobby challenged. No, I don't. And on the count of 2, get up and make a run for it. Ready? Yeah, I guess. But it better work because if he catches us, it won't be good. I know. Enough! The pigman yelled again, rattling the cave more. Get up! Again he pointed towards Kimmy as the yellow fog engulfed them. Both of them felt a tingle throughout their bodies and struggled to hold their eyes open. Kimmy reached her hand back, bracing it on a wall, and lifted it to her feet. Kimmy reached her hand back, bracing it on the wall, and lifted herself to her feet, as Bobby did the same. At the same time, they both tried to run and ended up falling face first into the dirt, and all went dark. Zuela, the good pixie angel, watched Trizad as he stood over the 2 children in the cave. She knew he had to do something quick in order to save them. As she searched her memory for the right remedy, she watched Trizad. Collecting the scraps of wood thrown about the cave, he stacked them neatly in a pile, and Zuela knew he intended to build a fire and eat them. Zuela watched intently as she conjured up one of her favorite spells to cast on him. When she felt the spell was ready to be discharged from her tiny wings, she flew invisibly over to where he was and released it. Within moments, Trizad fell to the ground with a loud thud, and Zuela flew over to where the children were laying lifeless. She blew a tiny breath in Kimmy's face first and watched her squirm, then did the same thing to Bobby. Within seconds, both children opened their eyes and slowly stood, trying to regain their sense of balance. Kimmy's voice was hoarse. What happened? I don't know, Bobby told her as his voice shook. Both of them noticed Trizad was out cold on the ground and saw the pile of wood. Looks like he was going to build a fire, Bobby nodded at the wood pile. Kimmy shivered. Yeah, it does. Wonder what he was going to cook. I don't even want to think about it. Me neither. Come on, Kimmy. I think we should get out of here while we can. They both glanced at Trizad and knew they had to get away from him. Even in sleep, he looked evil. Kimmy, can you hear me? A soft voice whispered. Kimmy looked at Bobby. What was that? She whispered. I don't know. Kimmy, can you hear me? The voice asked. Yes, I can hear you. Good. Now you need to listen. Who are you? I can't tell you that. Not yet, anyways. Okay, then where are you? Kimmy's eyes darted around the cave. Right in front of you, the voice answered. I don't see you. It's because I'm invisible. I was given the power to be. What is your name? Kimmy asked. The name's Zuela. Zuela? Yeah, Zuela. What's wrong? Don't you like my name? I like your name. I just don't know what's going on and why you're invisible. I'm invisible because my mother gave me the power to be. Now hush, girl, you talk too much, and there's a lot to be said. Where are we? Bobby demanded. I was getting to that. You're in Walby, the land of the Queen. Where's Walby? Kimmy asked. Far away from the world you came from. How far, like how many miles? Kimmy wanted to know. Dear child, with a mouthful of questions too far. There are many miles between you and the place you call home. Just tell us where we are so Bobby and I can start walking. Listen, child, whining won't get you home. You can't walk. You're much too far away for that nonsense. I don't understand, Kimmy said. Kimmy, you are light years away from home. But I don't understand. How come you know my name? It's not for you to understand right now. All you need to know is that you're both in danger. You're both stuck in Walby, the Queen's part of the country. I don't know how you managed to end up somewhere so dangerous either. Trizad is one of the meanest people in the lands, and you managed to get his attention as well. I swear, kids today don't pay attention to where they're going. Then they have the nerve to complain when they finally figure out where they ended up. Would you stop talking in riddles and putting us down and just tell us how to get back home? Kimmy demanded. And you never told me how you know my name. I can't tell you either, but you'll have answers eventually. I have another question, Kimmy blurted. Surprise! Go ahead. Are we here because we found the treasure? Ah, now you're getting on the right track. You're wanted here, my child. Yes, that's right. Don't look so surprised. This was all planned out by some very special people, but I can't tell you whom. Can you tell me why they had to bring Bobby into it? He brought himself into it. The special people who need you here knew that you and Bobby have always been best friends. The people who planned it knew it would be perfect for the two of you to travel to the world you are in now. Why? Kimmy asked. Why did they think it'd be perfect for drag Bobby into all this? They didn't drag Bobby anywhere. He was willing to participate. Besides, ever since you'd been little, you and Bobby have always done everything together. So what does that have to do with it? Everything, the voice told her. What's the name of the world we're in? Kimmy asked again. I've already told you. Walby. You need to listen and stop asking so many questions. When you keep asking questions, it wastes not only my time, but yours as well. Do your friends tell you the same thing? Not really. Well, bravo to those brave souls then. You've asked more questions in this short time frame than anyone I know in this world. Then this world is boring, Kimmy said. As far as me and Bobby being best friends, how do you know that? Because we know everything there is to know about you, even more than you know about yourself. I doubt it. Kimmy was annoyed and confused all at the same time. I don't. The voice was crisp. When both Kimmy and Bobby fell silent, the invisible thing laughed. Finally, I draw silence out of the talkative humans. That's what they call you, right? Yes, Kimmy snapped. Settle down, child. The truth is never easy once you are confronted with it. It's what you do after you learn the truth that counts. You still haven't answered my question. Why are we here? That is for you to figure out now. If I were the two of you, I'd find somewhere else to hide. You don't want Kixmox to find you in his cave or Trizad to wake up. Who is Kixmox? Bobby asked. The Sun Warrior of the Lions. You've got to be kidding. Kixmox is a lion? Kimmy asked, astonished. Not just any lion, or a lion that you may have seen at your zoo. Kixmox is the lion of the woods. If he catches you, he'll make you pay by torturing you. Once that's finished, he'll take you to the queen. What's the queen's name? Kimmy wanted to know. Watessa. Kimmy felt an odd surge of nostalgia over hearing the name, but didn't know why. What will you do? What will she do if she finds us? Bobby asked. Kill you? Now get up and search for somewhere safer to hide. Kixmox is on the way. If he catches you here, you'll be dinner. Can you take us somewhere else? Kimmy asked. No, I'm sorry, I can't. This is all I can do for you. The rest you've got to figure out on your own. Wait! Kimmy felt panic rise in her throat. What is it? The invisible thing sounded annoyed. Our parents will worry when we don't come home. Then you better hurry up and find the answer. Sitting around feeling sorry isn't going to help. Now get up before Kixmox finds you and go search for answers. Where do we start? Kimmy asked, standing. Start with the truth, Kimmy. If you start there, it will lead you forth. The invisible voice was fading. Please don't go. I've got to. Now be strong. Go forth and find what you're looking for and what you're needed to do. We will. Good. Kimmy felt something brush against her hand and lifted it. Her hand was glowing yellow. What the heck is going on, Zuela? When Zuela didn't answer, she looked at Bobby. Let's go, Kimmy. You heard what Zuela said. I don't want to be here when that lion comes or the pig man wakes up. Held out his hand and Kimmy took it. Together they left the cave and started running again. That was quite an interesting chapter indeed. Quite an interesting chapter indeed. What do you guys think? Kixmox and Trizad. All of these names she thought of herself. In fact, I can remember her like bouncing names off of me for this book to see which names she should use. I think she did really good. Yeah, that chapter only took 20 minutes. See, interesting names indeed. Yep. Kix Mox, the Lion King of the Woods. While I fill up my coffee, can I ask this question for those that have been hanging with me throughout the Wizard of Oz series? Does this kind of read like Frank L. Baum would write his Wizard of Oz stories? Dorothy being all inquisitive. You ask too many questions, child. Hey, what's up, Ernie? It's good to see you, fam. I like it. Well, I appreciate that. We will start chapter 3. We'll probably do. I'm gonna aim for 5 chapters tonight. So chapter 5. So that's about 40 more pages. Yeah, we'll see exactly how far we can get. But I'm really enjoying the story. I'm finding myself very enthralled. But I'm going to get some more coffee right quick. Really glad I get to share this with you guys. Trying a new coffee this week. It's called Orange Cream. And it's exactly what it sounds like, orange flavored coffee. It's pretty good. Yeah, not bad. I thought this was the OG writer. My mama wrote this book. That's up Ernesto. Yep, she was certainly always writing. There was a. I'll have to see. I'll have to get with my stepdad and see if we can locate some of the other ones that she did but never published, and some of them were quite like horror based and a little bit more creepy, and those really inspired me when I was little to write the way that I do. So, hey, what's going on, brother? It's good to see you, BIA. Hope you're doing well. And so far, so good. We're just about to start chapter 3. We're going to see how long I can go. These chapters aren't really consistent in length, so. She was a great writer. I like it. I appreciate that, Ernie. I truly do. All right. Let's get back into it, and appreciate you all being here and sharing this book with me. Chapter 3. Kimmy and Bobby ran so fast that neither one of them saw the small body of water until they splashed right through it. Great, just great, Kimmy mumbled. What the heck happened? Bobby looked down at his wet clothes. Obviously, we ran through water. The two of them looked around, but neither one could see the water. Where did it go? Kimmy asked, spinning around. I don't know. It was real, right? Kimmy asked. Yeah, it was. Look at your jeans. Kimmy looked down. Her jeans were soaked right along with her shoes. This should be comfortable, huh? Yeah, can't wait to try and run again with wet shoes. So, where did the water go? Kimmy looked around. I have no idea. This whole place is freaky if you ask me. Yeah, it is. Look down at the ground. When Bobby looked, he watched the black ground bubbling. It reminded him of charcoal, and he didn't want to be dinner. Everything about this land looked contoured. The violet blue tree branches with their gold leaves were low to the ground. The brilliant colors were hurting their eyes. The black ground bubbled and popped. We need to hurry. I don't like the way this place looks. Me neither. It looks like the ground is trying to swallow us. Where did that invisible person tell us we were? Walby, the land of the Queen. Well, I'd say the Queen has some weird things happening around here. I think she knows that. She's probably behind everything that's happened to us. How do you figure? I doubt she even knows we're here. Kimmy stomped her wet shoe on the ground and heard it squish. Oh, she knows. Anyway, which way do you want to go now? Bobby stared past Kimmy's head. What do you mean? We're trapped in the woods. It's not like there's a path or anything. Yes, there is. Turn around. When Kimmy turned around, she saw two paths. One was etched in silver, the other one gold. Where did those come from? I don't know. They weren't there a few minutes ago. Now, which one do you want to take? I don't care. It doesn't really matter, does it? No, guess you're right. It doesn't. All right, then you pick the path. I don't want to make the wrong choice. Psst, Kimmy, you need to choose a path. Pixmox is coming quickly through the woods. He's following your scent, which is why you ran through the water. It was put there to help you throw him off your trail. Now you must hurry. Let's take the silver path, Kimmy blurted. The two of them grabbed hands and started running again. Their shoes felt heavy as slowed them down. They finally stopped when they saw two more paths. This time they were different colors. One path was blue, the other orange. Isn't this special? Kimmy asked Bobby. Oh, yeah, real special. Pick one, Bobby. I picked last time. Let's take the orange path. Hurry, Kimmy. Kixmox is catching up with you. The two took off again, and Kimmy yelled, Why can't we see Kixmox coming? Because, Kimmy, Zoella answered. Sometimes he can be invisible like I am. Now hurry, run faster. We can't. Our clothes are wet and our shoes are heavy. It's slowing us down. Well, then, don't dwell on the things that don't feel right. Push ahead. Come on, you can do it. Zoella cheered. As they ran, Kimmy felt like she was going to pass out. Have we lost Kixmox? Bobby asked. Almost. Now keep going. Don't stop, no matter what. Zoella's voice was rushed. Easy for you to say. You're not the one running. I know, but I'm flying right along with you. No easy feat for wings so small as mine. Stop right this instant, someone yelled. Both of them stopped where they were and noticed a tall woman with flowing blonde hair wearing a red gown. She floated proudly before them, before floating over to where they had stopped. What is your name, child? She asked Kimmy. When Kimmy didn't answer, she felt a light tap on her cheek. Ouch! What was that for? Kimmy yelled. I asked your name, child. Now speak. The woman scolded her. Again, when Kimmy didn't answer, she felt a harder slap on her cheek. Would you stop hitting me? Hitting you? I've not touched you, child, the woman said. I'm not talking to you, Kimmy snapped. Okay, then, the woman turned. What's your name, young man? Bobby stared at her but didn't answer, and he felt something bite his ear. Ouch, that hurt. Then tell her your name, Zoella scolded. No. When he felt a stronger bite, he screamed in pain and then shouted his name. There, that's better, the woman smiled. So your name is Bobby. What's your friend's name? The woman nodded towards Kimmy. And hers, Kimmy. Those are human names? Of course. Why did you ask that? Bobby looked confused. Because both your names are those of humans. All humans have strange names. Says who? Bobby asked. Says everyone in this world. Let me guess. This is Walby world, right? Bobby was sarcastic. Wrong. The woman looked down at her nose at them. You just left Walby and crossed over into Parana. Can't you tell? I really wasn't paying much attention, so we're in Parana and no longer in Walby, Bobby asked. That's right. So will Kixmox come to this part of the world? Kimmy finally asked. Well, he could, but he doesn't very often. Kixmox doesn't get along well here, she informed them. Why not? Bobby asked. Because he's a beast who works for the queen. We have our own workers here who work for me. I'm in charge of this part of the world. So let me get this straight. Bobby stopped her. You're in charge of Perona, and the queen is in charge of Walby, right? That's right. So how do we get back to Earth? Kimmy demanded. Not so fast, my child. There is much to do here. I know who sent for you, but I mustn't tell you. It would not sit right if I did that, and I am not one who looks for trouble. Now come along, children. You both must be starving and in need of dry, clean clothes. Now follow me. She looked at both of them, and then she began floating into the direction she wanted them to follow. Where do you think she's taking us? Kimmy asked. Hopefully to a bus station or something. We can get out of here. Bobby smirked. He watched Kimmy smile. I wish. Bobby reached over and took her hand. Remember, no matter what happens, you hold tightly to my hand, okay? Okay. I don't care what anyone else tells you. Do not let go, Bobby whispered. I won't. I promise. The woman continued to lead them over the land, and Bobby and Kimmy noticed right away that the trees in Piranha were different than the ones in the land of Walby. In fact, everything was different. The ground where the green grass should have been was a beautiful purple, and the sidewalks were gold etched in red, and the bark of the trees was multicolored. The leaves were silver with tiny flecks of red. As Kimmy stared, she realized the trees held all the colors of the rainbow. The best part was none of these colors hurt their eyes. The house they approached was baby blue with white shutters. The sidewalk was a brilliant gold etched in silver, and so was the long porch that surrounded the house. Kimmy felt as if she was finally home, a feeling that took her by surprise. Once Bobby and Kimmy were seated in a round, weird-looking dining hall, they were served strange-looking food. They both noticed none of the food resembled any of the food on Earth. Excuse me, Kimmy blurted. What's your name? Fiery, the woman stated. Okay, so Fiery. Can we go to Taco Bell or McDonald's? Kimmy asked. What are those? Fiery asked. You don't know what Taco Bell and McDonald's are? No, I'm afraid not. They're fast food restaurants, Kimmy smiled. Well, I've never heard of it. Now eat your food. It's good for you. But I can't. It looks awful and too weird looking to put in my mouth. No, it doesn't. Now eat, Fiery scolded. Kimmy looked at her plate and winced. The food on it resembled a rainbow, much like everything else she had seen this far. There were purple long things that didn't look appealing, and the meat once again looked raw. Now eat. The woman's voice was firm, and she looked down her nose toward the two of them. Kimmy and Bobby finally gave in and dug into their food. They were both surprised to find it quite good, even though neither one tried the raw meat. Once they finished, they changed their clothes, not knowing how this strange woman would have extra clothes for them, but they didn't really care. Then the woman led them to a colorful room filled with multicolored furniture and told them to sit and rest. Kimmy thought all the colors in the room made it look too busy, but she sat down anyway when she realized how exhausted she was. Once they were settled, Kimmy put her head on Bobby's shoulder and closed her eyes. Before she knew it, she was fast asleep. As Bobby watched her, he felt his eyes go heavy, reached over and took Kimmy's hand, and he too fell asleep. When Kimmy woke up, she jumped out of her bed, looked around, and ran to the hall. Mom? She yelled. Yeah, down here in the kitchen. Kimmy took off down the steps, ran across the kitchen, and flung herself into her mother's arms. Goodness, Kimmy, why are you shaking? Her mother asked. Could it be because you never listen to me when I tell you not to do something? No, it's because I had the worst dream you could possibly imagine. Do you want to talk about it? Her mother watched her. Yeah, I guess. Come on, let's sit down at the table. Her mother led her over to a chair. It all started out when Bobby and I found a treasure, and I touched this green stone, and the two of us ended up in this weird, strange world. At first, we were sitting at this long table, then this pig-headed man walked in, sat down, then ordered that Bobby and I be thrown to the floor to take our meal with the other creatures. That's when Bobby told me to crawl out of the door of the place we were in, so I did, and he followed. As we ran, I remember, we ended up in Walby. Then this queen named Watessa ran that part of the world, so Bobby and I were running because we had the king of the lions chasing us. His name was Kixmox. The invisible thing that came to help us Came was helping us, but we never saw who it was because, as I said, it was invisible. Then we ended up in Piranha, where this beautiful woman took us to this quiet, comfortable place, fed us this strange-looking food, then gave us dry clothes because Bobby and I had run through water that we never saw, and it soaked our clothes. Then I put my head on Bobby's shoulder and fell asleep. When I woke up, I was back home. Kimmy smiled. Her mother reached over and grabbed Kimmy's hand. If you never listened to me before, you must do so now, and stay away from the queen, Kimmy. She'll hurt you. And you must stay far away from the warrior lion. Promise me. Her mother squeezed her hand. Say it. I promise, Mom. Her mother handed her an old book. This is for you. I should have given it to you a long time ago, and I was hoping this would never happen. But it has, and now it's your turn to learn of the things I've kept from you. What do you mean? Just as I said, Kimmy, there is much to say, and they've only given me a little time to tell you everything. Mom, you're scaring me. Be still, my child, and let me speak. Kimmy stopped talking. Very well. When you wake up, it'll be important to know what your given name is. Now, you know that your name on Earth is Kimmy, but your given name is Charisma. It is spelled with a K. Mom, I don't understand what any of this means. Just listen to me carefully. Hold on to the book I just gave you. Read it when the time allows, and remember your given name is Charisma. It means to charm and allure. Mom, where are you going? Why are you fading? I must go now. I must go home now, Kimmy. You're wanted here, and now you must stay. They've taken you. I knew someday it would happen. I just wasn't expecting this to be the day, but I should have. You did everything I cautioned you not to do, so now you're on your own. I can't help you anymore. The only other thing I can tell you is to be brave. Kimmy watched her mother starting to fade. Remember, everything I did to you was done so that I could protect you from what is happening right now. I'm sorry if I was harsh. I just never wanted them to get you. Mom, wait, don't go. Take me with you. Bobby watched Kimmy shake her head back and forth as she talked in her sleep. He gently reached over and woke her. When Kimmy looked around, she was still in the weird, strange world she had spoken to her mother about, and she noticed she was still holding the book her mother had given her. Where am I? Kimmy asked, but already knew the answer. Oh, we're still where we were when you fell asleep. What's with the book you're holding? Bobby asked. Be still and silent, my children. All will be explained in good time, Fiery said, and as she stood next to them wearing a long, deep blue gown. What's your name again? Kimmy asked. My name is Fiery, she answered. Kimmy continued to look at her. What is it, child? The woman asked. Do you know my mother? Kimmy whimpered. Fiery nodded. Yes, I know her. How? I just do. If you know her, then what's her name? Kimmy stood. Her name is Rain. Kimmy stared at her confused. I don't understand. Child, you don't always need to understand. Yes, I do. I just had a dream that I was home with my mom. I told her everything that happened to me, and she insisted I come back here. She even gave me this book and told me to read it when time allows. Kimmy's eyes swelled up with tears. Now that's why I need to understand. I also need someone to tell me where Camille went and why she's no longer with me. Bobby stood and threw his arms around her shoulder. It's not worth getting all upset over, Kimmy. I'm sure we'll find out why we're here soon enough. Kimmy sniffed. I know, but I feel bad that I brought you into this. Excuse me, as I recall, I'm the one who talked you into following me to the hidden treasure I found. Yeah, you did, but obviously they had it all planned out that way. Face it, they wanted us here. Now we're stuck here because we obviously can't go home. I don't mind. I figure if you're here, that I should be too. Someone's got to look out for you. Well, I'm glad the two of us are together. It could be worse. I could be stuck here with Dave. She winced at the thought. Yeah, we all know he's your favorite. Yeah, I like him about as much as I like taking tests at school that I forgot to study for. Bobby wiped his tears and smiled. Come, children, that's enough tears and talk. We've much to do. I've heard the rumor, as you humans call it, that Kixmox is going to be paying us a visit very soon. But I thought you said he's not allowed here, Bobby said. I did, but he may travel the lands when the stars are aligned just so. So when are the stars going to be aligned? Soon, children, very soon. Now come, we've much to do in a short time span. Bobby and Kimmy followed her, and Fiery started talking. What is your given name, my child? She asked Kimmy. Kimmy? No, listen what I'm asking you. What is your given name? She asked again. Why? Because it's an important part of who you are, that's why. I don't see how it's important. Everyone calls me Kimmy. I know, but you need to speak your given name, and then I'll explain to you why your hands are glowing yellow and why you're here. Fiery looked at Kimmy's hands. My given name is Charisma with a K. That's right, it is. Do you know why your mother switched the first letter to a K? I mean, we all know how charisma is spelled, but do you know why your mother changed it? No. Ah, so that is your first lesson. Do you know what your name means, my child? Yes, she answered, looking at Bobby. What does it mean? My mother told me my name means to charm and allure. Very good. Your mother's always been very bright. Fiery smiled at Kimmy. Hmm. So tell me why my hands are glowing yellow. I will, but not yet. You've much to learn. But I don't understand what this is all about, Bobby blurted. You will, Bobby. Now let me ask you, do you know your given name? Yeah, it's Bobby. To the humans it is, but do you know what your given name is? I just told you. It's Bobby. No, it isn't. Your mother just chose to call you that in the human world, much like Kimmy's mother did. Has she told you of your heritage, Bobby Martin? No, she hasn't. Fiery lifted her finger and pointed. Doesn't surprise me. Your mother was one always denying what we all are. I'm sorry. I'm confused. How do you know our mother? Why haven't they told us about you? Because the law of this land forbids them from talking until they're granted permission from the highest power to do so. By the time this is done, you'll be even more confused than you are now, so let it go. Let it go? No way. Tell me what my given name is, Bobby demanded. If I tell you, will you believe me? Bobby looked at Kimmy, who slightly nodded her head. Yes, Fiery, I'll believe you. Very well, come sit around the fire and I shall tell you about your given name. Fiery led them into a beautiful room with colorful furniture and rugs in all shades of blue. She tilted her head, indicating they should sit on the rugs thrown on the floor. Sit, both of you. When Bobby and Kimmy were situated, Fiery blew the smoke coming out of the fire and sat back and watched. At first, Bobby and Kimmy were alarmed when they watched the smoke from a cloud, and both of them saw their mothers. When the two women smiled at their children, Bobby and Kimmy smiled back. Listen to your mothers, my children. They've much to tell in a little span of time. Bobby watched as his mother sat up straighter on the cloud floating in front of him. Bobby, your given name is Boulder. It means, my son, that you are strong as the rocks, as powerful as the mountains, and bold as the eagle. I I don't understand. I know, but you will. No, I won't. I mean, look, I still don't get it. It isn't for you to get. You see, you were born into a very special family, one with great Windy. You must stop now. Fiery told Bobby's mother, too much too soon is no good. You're right. Windy agreed with Fiery. I know. That lesson is obviously one that I must teach your children. Then Fiery turned to Rain. Your turn. Kimmy, your given name is Charisma, but with a K. Why? Why, what? Her mother looked at her confused. Why did you change the first letter to a K? Because you're full of charm with the power to allure. I changed the first letter to a K because it is the letter of the city you were born to. Mom, you know I was born on Earth. Yes, you were, but on the date you were born. That's quite enough, Fiery told Rain. Okay. Rain smiled at her daughter. Remember the power of your given name, Kimmy, and you'll do well. Both of the kids watched as the smoky cloud started drifting away from them and slowly disappeared. They looked at Fiery. That was weird, and you've got a lot of explaining to do. You're right. So let's get started, shall we? Whew, man. That got wild. Amazing writer. I appreciate that. Love me some creepy horror. Yeah, she was really good at being scary. All right. just at about that 2 hour mark. Boulder. That's a nice boulder. All right. Let's do one more and see where we're at. Oh, this one's pretty tiny. Join the ride, man. I appreciate it. Chapter 4. As Manning and Dave arrived at the roller rink, neither one saw Kimmy or Bobby. Do you think they'll show? Manning asked. Manning asked. Hope so, but I don't know. Do you really think that they snuck into the old building? Manny asked, lacing up his skates. No way. I think Bobby was just trying to lure Kimmy away. Dave winked and then laughed. Seriously, you can't really think that. If he wanted to lure Kimmy away, he would have never invited us to eat lunch with them or told us that strange story. Dave shrugged. Come on, Manning. Most people have the dive for treasure or something like that. Dave finished with his skates, leaned back, and waited. But what if it was true? Then I guess we find out when Kimmy and Bobby show. Until then, it's just a giant question mark, isn't it? Yeah, Manning stood. Let's go. When Dave and Manning saw Renee and Shelby, two of their other friends, on the other side of the roller rink, they skated over to them. Did you just get here? Manning asked them. Yeah, Renee told them. We were hoping Kimmy would already be here, but doesn't look like she is. Yeah, for real, Shelby agreed. She told us this morning on the phone she was coming up here tonight. Well, I hate to break it to you, but she's not here yet, Dave told them as the four of them exited the rink and stopped so they could talk. Where is Kimmy, do you know? Renee asked the boys. Manning laughed. She took off with Bobby right after lunch. What's so funny? Where'd they go? Renee wanted to know. Dave looked at both girls. Neither one of you would believe it if we told you. Try us. Shelby glanced at him with her stormy gray eyes. Yeah, tell us what's going on. Dave shrugged. Okay, you asked for it. Bobby found a treasure chest in an old abandoned warehouse on Mill Street and wanted all of us to go with him to see it. Truth is, Manning and me didn't believe him, so Kimmy and Bobby took off. Now we don't know where they are. They left after the four of us had lunch at Taco Bell, and we haven't seen them since. Very funny. Renee's voice was snide. Yeah, I wasn't expecting that one, Shelby admitted. Why would you lie to us? Look, the two of them took off like I said, to look inside this old building for treasure, Dave said. They did. Manning agreed. Okay, whatever. If she took off with Bobby after lunch to go into an old building, shouldn't they be back by now? Shelby looked worried and upset at the same time. Not really. Manning and I figured Bobby was just trying to get Kimmy alone for a while. Why? They're not dating, Shelby said. Who cares? Gosh, I'm tired of talking about it. This is what I think is going on. Kimmy and Bobby lost track of time, or maybe Bobby asked Kimmy to be his girl, and they don't want company. Dave smiled. I doubt it. And even if Bobby asked Kimmy to be his girl, they're not like that. They wouldn't have called and told us. Renee stated, yeah, she's right. As she swung her, Shelby agreed as she swung her head, her long blonde hair tumbled down her back. Did you at least call Bobby on his phone? No. Now, can we go skate? I'm telling you that Manning and I know for a fact that Bobby likes Kimmy. I'm not worried about them because they're probably off somewhere talking and having a good time, which is what we should be doing. Now, come on. Dave looked at them. Oh, that's good. Two of our friends are missing and you want to skate. Renee was upset. Yeah, that's right. I do. They're fine. Besides, Kimmy's not one of my favorite people. Dave skated away and left Manning standing there. He looked at both girls. Well, we all know that he doesn't get along with Kimmy, but he's probably right. I think we should go skating, see if they show. Let's give it an hour. If they're not here by then, we'll call them on the phone. No way. I'm not waiting. Renee took out her phone and called Kimmy. When it went right to voicemail, she left a message. Something isn't right, but I can't put my finger on it yet. Renee flipped her dark hair over her shoulder. Come on, let's go skate. But I'm telling you, Manning, that if anything happened, I'd hate to be you and Dave. Our parents are going to be mighty upset with you two. First, for not calling them and letting them know that Kimmy and Bobby aren't here when they're supposed to be. And because you let them go into an old deserted building by themselves. What kind of friend does that, huh? Renee took off and skated fast around the rink, listening to the music. Finally, Shelby and Manning caught up to her. Don't be mad, Manning said. Don't be mad. Is that the best you can do? Come on, Manning. Two of our friends have disappeared, and all you can say is don't be mad. Do me a favor. Go away, Renee told him. Renee, don't be mad at me. I'm begging you. Manning continued to plead with her. Renee said nothing. The whole story didn't make any sense to her. And finally, she knew she needed to call Bobby's mother, then Kimmy's house, and would do so once she reached the other side of the rink. Dave saw his friends and noticed a bright blue circle form bright, bright blue circle form around all of them as they skated. He wondered if anyone else on the rink had noticed the eerie blue light that surrounded them. And as he looked around at the other kids skating, he realized they were oblivious to it. Dave sped up and tried to catch the three of them to ask them about the blue circle, but by the time he got to the other side of the rink, they disappeared. Dave looked around the rink, frantic, but couldn't see them anywhere. He exited the rink, skated through it, searching, but he couldn't find his friends. He skated to the boys' bathroom. Manning, are you in here? No one answered. He waited outside the girls' bathroom, knowing he couldn't go in. When he saw a group of girls skating over to it, he waited. When they reached the door, he stopped them. Want to do me a favor? Dave asked the group. What? A blonde girl smiled at him. When you go in there, will you ask if there's a Renee or Shelby? Why? The girl stared at him with big blue eyes. Because I'm trying to find my friends, and I can't very well go in there, right? The girl giggled. I don't think that'd be a good idea. So you'll do it? I guess. The girl skated into the bathroom, and moments later she emerged. Sorry, if anyone's in there is Renee or Shelby, they're denying it. Great. Dave ran his hand through his dark hair. Listen, you didn't happen to see the blue light on the rink a few minutes ago, did you? What blue light? The girl looked at him. You know, the blue light that appeared out of nowhere and took my friends. Now I can't find them anywhere. Okay, that's just not right. Are you telling me a blue light made your friends disappear? Listen to what you're saying. I know what I'm saying. Just forget it, he said and skated away. He searched the entire rink and they were nowhere to be found. He stopped by the front desk and asked if anyone had seen the three of them, and the girl behind the counter told him they didn't. Now he had thought about what he saw. He wondered why no one had seen them disappear. He thought about leaving, but didn't want the chance of missing Kimmy and Bobby if they showed up. He wished that if they were coming, they'd hurry up. He needed someone to tell of what just happened. He skated over to the DJ booth. Yeah, what can I play for you? The DJ yelled. Nothing. I was wondering if you saw the strange blue light on the rink a few minutes ago. Dave had to scream. The music was so loud. What strange blue light? You know, the light that surrounded my friends, the one that made them disappear. Sorry, kid, I didn't see the light. The DJ gave him a strange look. Whatever. Dave skated back to the rink, letting his eyes wander around all the kids skating, but he didn't see his friends. He continued to skate, and he saw another circle, this time red, moving towards him on the rink. He tried to avoid running into it, but it didn't work, and soon Dave felt like he was falling. When Manning, Shelby, and Renee realized they were suddenly in the middle of a field surrounded by brilliant colors, they all waited a moment, trying to recollect what happened. Manning finally looked at the girls. Where are your shoes? He asked when they noticed they were barefoot. The same place as yours, obviously. Shelby nodded towards his feet. Where are we? Renee asked. Who knows? Manny sat up. But they heard a loud sound, and Manning lay back down next to his friends. They all covered their heads with their arms. When they heard a deep moan, Manning opened one eye and saw Dave laying next to him. So you made it too, Manning said, watching Dave jump up, and he spun around and glared. Thank goodness I found you guys, Dave said. Why did you take off like that, huh? Manning shrugged. I don't know. What happened? Dave, we know as much as you do, Shelby snapped, standing. Where are my shoes? Dave looked confused as he stared in the same place as he stared at his bare feet. The same place as the rest of ours, Renee stood. When the four of them heard the horse hooves barreling towards them, they looked at each other and took off running. Changing scene to the evil queen, Watessa the queen sat staring, watching the four giants running through the field, and smiled. Soon they would enter the woods, be captured, and become prisoners trapped in the land of Walby. She would see to it that they were locked in the dungeon far beneath their world, pitched in darkness where it was cold and damp. They would not make it as far as the other two giant people did. She pulled out her sword, rubbed it twice, and Vixbit appeared. Yes, queen. More giant people just entered the woods. Find them and bring them to me, alive. But my queen, there's no way. The whisper of the force suggests that they yield magic in their bones. If what they say is true, it'll be the end of my life. Silence, Watessa glared at Vixbit. If what you say is true, then we must take them as prisoners now. But my queen, you don't understand. This is a job for Kixmox, not me. I'm a spy, not a warrior. Watessa held up her tentacle and looked at it, saw the four giant people still running, then saw the knights on the horses. She immediately picked up her sword, swung it 3 times, and Kixmox appeared. What is it? Kixmox asked annoyingly. There are more giant people in the woods. Find them and bring them to me, Watessa demanded. If I must bring them to you, then then when shall I eat? Kixmox growled. Later, when you've earned it. Now go. She waved her tentacle. Be gone. Vixbit watched as Kixmox disappeared. Now you, Watessa turned to stare at him with her purple eye. Go to the giants, find out who they are, and report back to me. Yes, my queen. Now be gone. Watessa lifted her tentacle, and Vixbit disappeared. The horses ran closer to the 4 of them, and Shelby stopped. She was out of breath and tired of running. What are you doing? Manning asked her. I can't breathe, so I needed to stop. Is it your asthma? Manning looked at her and realized Dave and Renee were still running. Yeah. Do you have your inhaler? Shelby nodded, reached in her pocket, took it out, and dispensed it. I'm sorry, Manning. We're going to be caught. Don't worry, I'd rather be with you than know you're alone with them. Manning stared at the knights and stopped before them. Both of the knights looked powerful and strong, sitting high on their horses. You are in Walby, on the land ruled by Watessa, one of the knights with long jet-black hair and summer blue eyes told them. Yeah? So? Manning shrugged. What does yeah so mean? The knight looked at him quizzically. It means we don't care, Shelby said. The knight threw back his head and laughed, a rich, deep sound. You'll care when she takes you prisoner. She can't, Shelby answered. The worst she can do is call the cops on us for trespassing. Cops, you say? What is that? The knight asked. You can't be serious, Manning asked. Everyone knows who the cops are. Cops, what are those? The second knight asked, his long blonde hair blew in the wind. You know, like when you do something wrong, the police, cops, same thing. I don't know what you're saying. The knight shook his head confused. You come with us. Kixmox is on the way. Who's Kixmox? Shelby asked. When they heard the roar, both looked at the knight as he held out his hand to Shelby and the other knight held out his hand to Manning. That's Kixmox. Neither one argued. As the roar grew louder, they grabbed the knight's hands and were flung behind them on the horse's bare back. Wait, Shelby yelled. We've got 2 friends running through the woods. They're on their own. We can't enter the woods to save them now. The invisible shield will not allow it. The knight said as the horse flew over the field, carrying them further away from their friends. Dave and Renee heard the roar of something getting louder. Dave finally looked over his shoulder. Where did Manning and Shelby go? He asked Renee, still running. What do you mean? They're right behind us. No, they're not. What? When Dave and Renee tried to stop, he grabbed her arm. There's no stopping right now. Whatever is roaring, it's coming closer to where we are. Now keep running. His voice was harsher than intended, but Renee kept going. Hey, Dave, over here. Who said that? Dave asked Renee. I don't know. I'm not stopping to find out either, Renee answered. Hey, Dave, you deaf? I said over here. Dave heard the voice again, but ignored it and continued hanging on to Renee's arm. When they heard the roar again, Dave looked behind them and saw the lion. Renee, we're in trouble. Don't tell me that. Well, we are. There's a lion chasing us. A what? Renee panicked. A lion? No way. Yes way. What should we do? Renee glanced over. Keep running. What if it catches us? Then we're dinner. Dave, are you ignorant? Both of them heard someone ask. Dave pulled Renee to him, and the two of them stopped running. Who's calling my name? Dave yelled and saw the lion closing the distance between them. I am. Dave watched the little man step out from behind the violet blue tree in the woods. Who are you? Dave looked down at the little creature with the white hair, oversized reading glasses, and big curly shoes. I'm Tibbs, he told Dave, then raised his hand. Dave and Renee watched as the lion froze mid-stride. How did you do that? Dave asked. Magic. Yeah, whatever. What do you want? You have a sharp tongue, huh? Tibbs watched him. What do you mean? You have a sharp tongue. A thank you would be good. For what? For not letting you be dinner, as you called it. Thanks? Dave was embarrassed. How'd you know I said that? Magic. Now you must hurry. The lion has 3 minutes until he comes again. Now follow me up this tree. You'll be safe here. I can't climb that tree, Renee said. I don't have shoes. You don't need shoes. Watch me. He scaled the tree quicker than their eyes could travel. See? He smiled from far atop the tree. Yeah, we see. Dave looked at Renee. I'll hoist you up, and you can grab a branch. It's the only way. Renee went to put her foot in his hands, and instantly she and Dave were at the top of the weird-looking tree, staring down at the hungry lion at the bottom. Now, let's go, Tibbs told them. How are we going to go anywhere? We're stuck in a tree. Renee noticed the crimson leaves and violet blue branches and thought it was strange and beautiful all at the same time. Close your eyes, both of you, Tibbs said, jumping up. When the two of them closed their eyes, they felt their feet leave the tree. Do not open your eyes until I say. If you do, you'll fall, Tibbs said. Neither Renee nor Dave opened their eyes, not because they believed the little man called Tibbs, but now they had no other choice. That's the end of chapter 4. Meeting more characters. Tibbs. Very descriptive writing. I'm going to have to create voices for all these kids because I know they're all going to have scenes together. Let's see. Just hit about the 2-hour mark. Figured there's 30 chapters. If we do 5 chapters a stream, we can do it in 6. But some chapters might be shorter than others, so let me take a look and see. Yeah, like this one's less than 10 pages long, this chapter, so let's read through chapter 5. We'll see where we're at, and we'll go from there. But I really appreciate the 9-10 of you hanging out, listening to a story I haven't read in a very long time. From the mother who taught me how to appreciate the word for what it is, and that punctuation is a thing. But let's read chapter 5. Kimmy and Bobby stared at Fiery, confused over what happened with their mothers. They both noticed she was still smiling gently at them. When are you going to start talking? Kimmy demanded. In a little while. You see, my children, you've much to learn. We know that. But what about our life on Earth? Kimmy asked. Be still, my child. You won't miss Earth that much in time. Soon it will all become a distant memory for you, much like this world did when you were taken from it. I don't understand any of this. It isn't what you understand, Charisma. It's what you do with what you find out here in this world that counts. But why are we in this world? Bobby asked. Boulder, you must not be that way. Both of you must clear your minds. Forget Earth or you'll fail in your task. How can we forget, huh? Kimmy asked. All of our friends are there, our families, our school. Not to mention our lives. I know you're upset, my children, but you must stop it, Fiery said. There is much to do. Now, if you're ready, we'll continue. If not, I shall leave the two of you to think about what you need to focus on. The choice is yours. Fine, let's get on with it, Kimmy said. Very well, but first you must rest. Your minds are foggy. I don't want to rest. I don't want to do anything but figure out how to get home. Kimmy snapped at Fiery. When they watched Fiery tilt her head to one side, they watched her face cloud with anger. Then she smiled, looked at the two of them, and waved her hand. Kimmy and Bobby watched as she disappeared, leaving behind a fine mist of smoke. Where did she go? Kimmy was alarmed. I don't know, Bobby yawned. I'm tired, Bobby, Kimmy said. He reached over, threw his arm around her shoulder, and she laid her head down. He leaned his own head back against the sofa, and soon the two of them were asleep. Fiery flew through the forest and stopped suddenly when she saw what Camille, Kimmy's fairy, had told her. She moved silently through the trees, and her eyes came to rest on two of the other children. They were as beautiful as the others, and she knew that soon they would join her, but not yet, not until the moment presented itself. Fiery silently snuck up on Tibbs, tapped his shoulder, and watched him jump as she laughed. Tibbs swung around, watching Fiery materialize in front of him. I hate when you do that, Fiery. Tibbs shook his head. I'm sorry, Fiery smiled. You did well today, Tibbs. These are the other two children that our world needs. Tibbs nodded. I figured they were. They're different creatures, aren't they? Different because they're from Earth. Fiery watched Dave and Renee and glanced at Tibbs. You mustn't let them out you mustn't let them out of your eyesight. I won't. I haven't yet, but I'm telling you, they're both unruly. I know, which is part of who they are. Please, Tibbs, watch carefully. There are many dangers now. I know, Fiery, I feel it. Fiery blew smoke towards Renee and Dave and watched them close their eyes. They'll sleep now, and as for me, I'm going to venture out. Fiery smiled at her friend. Tibbs nodded. Be quick about it. I feel the Queen approaching. Then I surely must get back to the other children. Fiery panicked, and Tibbs watched her go up in smoke. When Manning and Shelby finally felt their horses stop, they were grateful. Can we get down now? Shelby asked the knight. No, stay, the knight answered. Why? Shelby argued. Because we feel the Queen. She is moving through the land. It is not good. She shall search and destroy, the knight answered. Search and destroy what? Manning asked. Silence! The knight carrying Manning yelled. The knight stared through the darkness, which had fallen on the land, and then they looked at one another, nodded, and took off riding. Where are we going now? Shelby complained. Be silent, you foolish child. If the Queen hears you, she'll come. Then what will happen? Shelby asked. Then you'll be her prisoner. She'll never let you go. Shelby didn't respond right now. She wasn't taking the chance. If what the knight told her was true, she didn't want the Queen to find her and Manning. When can Manning and I go home? Shelby whispered. The knight stopped his horse, turned to look at her, reached out, placed a hand over her mouth, stared in her eyes, and Shelby fell asleep. The knight took off again, barreling over the land. Hey, what'd you do that for? Manning yelled. The knight in front of Manning stopped the horse, swung around, spit in his face, and Bobby felt his world go dark. Then the knight continued riding. When the Queen landed just outside Kixmock's cave, she stood at the entrance. Kixmox, come out here this instant. Oh, what is it now, Watessa? Kixmox asked. You fool, who dares to rest when I've given you an order to capture the giant people in the woods? A beam of light came out of her purple eye, stinging Kixmox, making him cry out. What do you want? Kixmox asked once he recovered from the sting. I want the giants, yet you dare to sleep, she challenged. Yes, I dare to sleep. I'm weak, but don't know the cause. The cause, you imbecile, is the giants. They're taking your powers, and you must take them back at once. If you don't, Kixmox, you'll be ruined. Then who will guard this land? I don't know who. I will summon Dag, then turn the job over to him. Oh, you wouldn't become a traitor, Kixmox said. Oh, wouldn't I? She snapped her tentacle, crumbling part of the cave. Kixmox stared. Very well. What would you have me do? What I told you, find the giants, all of them, and destroy them. If you find them and destroy them, if you don't find them and destroy them, I'll summon Dag. Kixmox growled, took one more look at the Queen, and then started his search. As Kixmox ran over the land, he yelled out for Vixbit. What is it? Vixbit demanded, appearing on Kixmox's nose. You must fly to the tree up there. On your left, fly up until you see the children, and find some way to lure them down. To me, Kixmox snapped. How am I going to do that, huh? But I'm Vladimir Fly. The only recognition I get is a swap from most. Face it, Kixmox, I'm nothing more than a spy. Kixmox, over here, he heard a voice say. What was that, Vixbit? I don't know. I was ready to ask the same thing. Kixmox, if you want the children, come here, the voice whispered. Come where? Kixmox demanded, drooling from his mouth because he felt so weak. Over here, behind the tree. Kixmox ran to the tree, realized too late it was a trap, felt his legs caught in the rope, and soon he was hanging upside down. When he heard the giggle, he wasn't pleased. Release me now. If the queen finds out what you've done, she'll come. Then she'll kill you. She'll never find me, the voice told him, giggling again. Vixbit, are you still with me? Yes, Kixmox. Then do something. Release me now. I can't, Kixmox. What do you mean you can't, Vixbit? I can't. These tiny ropes attached to me, and I can't move either. Then chew through them. It won't work, the voice told him. You can't chew through the rope of the invisible. Who are you? Kixmox asks. The name's Tomkin, at your service. Kixmox heard the giggle again. Tomkin, you say? Very good, Kixmox. You're not as stupid as I've heard you to be. The voice told him, giggling again. Tomkin, if you release me and Vixbit, every wish shall be yours for the asking. Oh, but that's where you're wrong. Every wish is already mine for the taking. Sorry, you lose. Kixmox heard the voice slowly fade away. Wait! Kixmox yelled, hanging upside down. When no one answered, Kixmox growled, Vixbit, find a way to get me out of here, or you shall die a painful death. When Vixbit didn't answer, Kixmox realized he was alone. Kimmy yawned, stretched, and opened her eyes and realized Bobby was still sleeping. She quietly lifted his arms from around her, walked to one of the glass windows, and stared into the darkened night. Something flickered right outside the window, making Kimmy turn, and then she walked to the door, opened it, and let herself out, and walked into the area of the flicker. What are you doing out here, Kimmy? Kimmy spun around but saw no one. I asked you a question which needs an answer, the voice told her. I saw something flicker, so I came out to investigate, she said. Do you always do what you're told not to do? The voice asked. No, not always. So why did you leave the safety of the house? The voice yelled at her. I told you, Kimmy yelled back. So, it's true. You're the child from the planet you call Earth, aren't you? Yes, she was irritated. That's why you don't listen? No, that's not why. I just want to find out where I am and how to get home. I don't like it here. Ah, but it isn't up to you. Who are you, anyway? My name is Redilia. Redilia? Where are you from? I'm from here, the land of Perona. Who are you? Kimmy asked. I told you, I'm Redilia. Redilla. I know that, but why can't I see you? I'm invisible to the naked eye. What does that mean? Do I need special glasses to see you or something? No, you need special powers. Only then will I be revealed. Then I guess I'll never see you? That would largely depend on you. I don't understand. I know, it's quite common. Understand must be one of your favorite words. Redula giggled. Why do you say that? Because, child, since you've arrived here, you've said the word understand at least 20 times. So what? I like that word, obviously. What's your point? My point, as you call it, is not to understand, but to know what is. You've completely lost me now. Okay. You were summoned here, and your mother gave you permission for you to return. Redilla, enough, Fiery yelled. Sorry, Fiery. You should be. You know the rules, yet you open your mouth anyway. Camille will not like it, and neither do I. You know Camille? Where is she? Kimmy asked. Never mind, Charisma. Enough has been said. Now, into the dwelling you must go. Dwelling? You mean house? Kimmy was confused. House? Fiery looked at her. Get in the structure. You're not safe out here. Why? Too many questions, Fiery answered. I know she does, and she uses the word understand all the time, Redula said. Yes, she does. I think she likes that word a lot. I believe she does. Now, we must go, Redula. Something is moving about the land, and it's not friendly. Fiery grabbed Kimmy by the arm, pulled her into the dwelling, and slammed the door. Don't ever leave the dwelling without letting me know. You weren't here. How was I supposed to let you know? If I'm not here, it means don't wander. Fiery glared at her. Why? Don't say it. You will learn soon enough if you only open your mind to what's going on. I don't want to open my mind, Fiery. I just want to go home. It's not possible. The time is upon us, and no one leaves and no one comes through. What does that mean? It means for now you can't leave or go home to Earth. And no one from Earth is allowed to come here. All portals are now closed. You're stuck in this new world. You better adjust quickly if you want to survive. Fine. Kimmy opened the door to the room Bobby was sleeping in and slammed the door behind her. Fiery watched and knew Kimmy would be just fine. Her spirit was strong, an ingredient all the children needed for the fight that lied ahead. Hey, good morning, Mad Hatter. Punctuation, what's that? Good morning, Mad Hatter. Alec Longoria, I hope you're doing well, fam. It's good to see you. Appreciate you guys hanging out with me, reading the book that Mama Ghost published about 10 or so years ago. It's called Unspoken Secrets, about 6 teenagers that get sucked into a magic world, learn about their true selves, and have to fight the evil within. Pretty impressive. I think that there's a lot of characters, but I think we're getting to the end of them, so. Isn't it though? I've been reading my mom's work for a very long time, and some might say that I read the way I do because of the way she writes. Um, I'll never forget this book she wrote called Trickery Treat, and I believe it was all about like a haunted train, and it was just so unique and so bizarre. I just absolutely loved it. Let me see. You know what? We're gonna do one more. I'm having a good time with you guys, and I want to. Yeah, let's do one more, and then if we do 6 chapters, then we can do this in five streams. So, not that I want to speed or rush through it, but I'm having a really good time reading it with y'all. I'm here for it, and I appreciate you, fam. All right. Chapter 6, it's a little shorter one. It's only 10 pages. Bobby opened his eyes when he heard the door slam and saw Kimmy standing by with her arms folded across her chest. What's wrong? He whispered. Nothing, besides the fact that I went for a walk, met some creature by the name of Redula, and we were having a perfectly good conversation about why we're here when Fiery showed up out of nowhere and yelled at both of us. Maybe Fiery was worried about you wandering off alone. Oh no, not you too. Sick of people worrying. Everyone acts like I'm not old enough to take care of myself. I think you're taking it the wrong way. Bobby stood. Kimmy, we're in a strange place with weird things going on. I don't think it's safe for either of us to wander off, especially alone. I don't care, Bobby Martin. Gosh, sometimes I just need a little space to get my thoughts and feelings together. A lot has happened in a short period of time. No, really? Kimmy, you act as if you're the only one affected by what's happening, but you're not. I'm not thrilled about being here either. But there's obviously nothing we can do. Kimmy looked at him. I know, you're right. Sorry. Stop. You don't have to say that to me. You and I are friends. I just want you to know it's bothering me too. You're so nice, Bobby. Thanks. Oh my gosh. Kimmy stared at him. What? I was just thinking about your birthdays in 2 days and we're stuck here. Are you bummed out? A little. I mean, it's not the ideal place to celebrate a 15th birthday, but I'm sure I'll get over it. Yeah, you don't have a choice. Yeah, neither do you. Your birthday's 1 week away, Kimmy, and you'll finally be 14. I hope you're back on Earth by then. Well, if not, it's no big deal. Like you said, I'll just have to deal with it. Bobby walked over to Kimmy, brushed her hair back from her face, and stared in her eyes. We're going to be all right. I promise you, I won't let anything happen. Kimmy nodded. I trust you, Bobby. I always have, ever since we were little. I've always felt like I had nothing to worry about if you were with me. Good. You keep feeling close. You keep that feeling close to you. I don't know what's going to happen while we're here, but I won't leave you as long as I can help it. Kimmy kissed his cheek. Thanks. You're welcome. Now let's try and get some sleep. I got a feeling tomorrow is going to be busy. He led her back to the sofa, put his arm around her, and the two of them watched the fine mist of the smoke billow towards them and soon fell asleep. When Manning opened his eyes, he realized it was morning, and he and Shelby were in a cave. He sat up to look around and saw the two knights. When he saw Shelby open her eyes, he watched her look around, and she too sat up. Who are you? Shelby demanded. The knight she had ridden with looked at her. I am Zambler, and he is Juniper. The knights continued to stare. Are we your hostages? What does hostages mean? Zambler asked. You know, have you kidnapped us for a ransom? Are you going to shoot us, or what? You humans talk in a weird way. Just answer the question, Shelby eyed him. I don't know how to answer what you've asked. So let me say, what happened last night was part of our job. Yeah, right. Now I want to listen. Yeah, right. Now I want you to listen, Excuse me, Zambler interrupted. My given name is Zambler, not Zam. Okay, Zam, as I was saying, our parents will double the money you want for us if you'll return us alive. Your talk confuses me. Zambler looked at Juniper and nodded. All I'm saying is, what's your given name? Zambler cut Shelby off. My name's Shelby. He's Manning. Are those your given names? Juniper asked, crinkling his nose in disdain. Yes, those are our given names, as you call it, Manning told them. You're almost a man. Zambler looked at him. I guess, Manning shrugged. My birthday's 10 days away. I'll be 15. Yeah, my birthday's tomorrow. I'll be 14. Shelby volunteered. That explains it, Juniper said. Explains what? Why you're here. No, it doesn't. So start talking, Shelby demanded. Juniper shrugged. Okay, you see, it's time for the two of you. Juniper, don't you dare. All of them heard the female voice. They watched as a beautiful woman with long blonde hair wearing a blue long dress approached the cave. Enough, the woman told the knights. I told everyone the rules, but yet your tongues get the best of each of you every time. She glared at Zambler. You know better than to let Juniper talk freely with his tongue, and you should have tried to silence him. Then the woman turned her gray eyes to stare at Shelby and Manning. You're both beautiful. Never have I seen such beauty in so many children. I should have expected no less. She stared. My name is Fiery. I'm Shelby. I'm Manning. It's a pleasure to meet you. Are you children comfortable? No, not really. I hate camping and having to sleep on the hard ground. My back is killing me, Shelby complained. Fiery smiled. Soon you will touch your head to the softest pillows and sleep, but for now there is much to do. Zambler and Juniper are good men. They'll take care of you until I come again. Goodbye, children. Fiery smiled, and Shelby and Manning watched as she disappeared. Where did she go? Shelby asked. She has much to do, and so you do you. Now get up and follow us, Zambler said, and he and Juniper stood. Where are we going? Going? We're going nowhere but outside. Your time is here. Our time for what? Manning asked. Come, you shall find out. As Shelby and Manning followed the knights out of the cave, neither one knew what was going on. But they would soon enough. Fiery landed high in a tree and saw the two children still sleeping, so she turned her attention towards Tibbs. How did it go last night? It was quiet. The only real mishap was when Kixmox tried to climb that tree. He became tied in a rope that Tompkin had set as a trap. Why, even Vic's bit was tied up too. I had a chuckle when I saw what happened. Fiery smiled. You've all done well. Now it's time to wake the children. Fiery blew orange dust from her hand and watched it swirl around the children's heads. Dave sat up, rubbed his eyes, and stared at Fiery. Who are you? He whispered. Renee stood next to him, and he helped her sit up. Yeah, who are you? She wrinkled her nose as she waited. My name is Fiery. What are your names? I'm Dave. She's Renee. Those are handsome names, then. I guess. Dave didn't know what else to say. It's a fine day, children, with much to do. Now get up and let Tibbs do his job. Where are we? Renee asked. You are in Piranha. What's that? Said Dave. Far away from Earth. Like, how far? And what do you want with us? It's far enough that you can't travel back on foot, and what we want with you, you'll both find out soon enough. Now, up with you. Both of you have a busy day. What are we doing? Today's my birthday, Renee said. I know, Fiery answered. Why, today's your 14th, aren't you? Renee smiled. Yes, that's right. So it's a fine day for celebrating with Tibbs. Fiery clapped her hands. I so love celebrating, don't you? Yeah, Renee answered. How did you sleep, children? Fine, Dave answered. Looked, look, if we could go home today, that'd be great. I'm sure since it's Renee's birthday, she would love to see her family. Oh, absolutely not, young man. There's excessively too much to do. Now, your birthday's in 3 days, and in the next 10, all of you shall have a birthday. So it's indeed a fine day. Now, I must go. I'm too very busy. Soon, my children, I'll come back for you. Until then, be good to Tibbs. He's a good man. Goodbye till next time. Fiery smiled warmly, waved her hand in front of her, and was gone. Where did she go? She left, Tibbs answered. Now, get up, children. We must start our day. There's much to do. Follow me. He jumped from the tree. That little man is nuts if he thinks we're following. Shoot, I'm not jumping out of this tree, Dave told Renee. Me neither. Renee and Dave continued to wait until they saw Tibbs again. Did you children not hear me? I said follow me. Tibbs stood staring at the two unruly humans, tapping his curly shoe. We won't follow you, Tibbs. For one thing, we can't fly, and for another, it's Renee's birthday. Yeah? So? Tibbs answered impatiently. That means she get to do what she wants, Dave said. Oh, maybe down there on the planet you both so fondly call Earth, but in Piranha she needs to listen and learn. There's much to do. Are you going to follow me? Tibbs tapped his foot again. No, Dave answered. We're not going to follow you. We don't know who you are and what's going on. Until we do, we'll stay right here. Oh, no, you won't. Tibbs flung his finger in front of him, and Dave and Renee saw a yellow spark fly out of his fingertip, and they were instantly on their feet. Now follow me, he chuckled. As he watched the children join him, he jumped, blew in Dave's ear, and Dave felt his feet leave the tree and noticed he was billowing softly to the ground. When he looked up, he watched Renee doing the same, and soon she stood next to him. Now, are you ready? Are you children finally ready? Tibbs glared at them. Not so fast, a female voice told them. Tibbs knew they were in trouble when he turned and Watessa was standing there. What do you want? Tibbs asked. Why are you in Piranha? You're not welcome here. You know the rules. Tibbs, rules are meant to be twisted, the Queen said, as she turned her purple eye and stared at the two children. You're to come with me. She insisted, and before Dave and Renee could say anything, Watessa wrapped her tentacle around them, and they all disappeared. Tibbs stared at where the children had been, and he heard someone laugh. When he turned around, he saw Kixmox. What are you doing here? Tibbs asked, lifting his hand and flinging blue dust towards him. I'm here for you, Tibbs. Your breakfast for me. Tibbs watched as the blue dust hit Kixmox, and he froze. Tibbs scurried up the tree quickly and jumped into another and did that all the way to Fiery's place. Once he arrived, he noticed that she, too, was alone. He jumped out of the tree, startling Fiery. Where are the children? Tibbs asked her. Fiery looked at him. I came back here this morning, and they were gone. Mine are gone, too, but I know what happened. Watessa tricked me. She waited until I thought the area around the base was safe. When I brought the children to ground level, she was there. She wrapped her tentacle around them, and now they're gone. When they saw the two knights riding up their horses alone, they all knew they were in trouble. Watessa had taken the children, and now they were all on their own. As Kimmy opened her eyes for the second time that day, she realized it was very dark and she couldn't see. She looked down towards her feet and watched her hands glow bright yellow. She lifted them and she sat up. She felt something crawling over her face and screamed. "Kimmy, is that you?" She heard Bobby's voice. "Yes, Bobby, where are you?" "I don't know, I can't see anything." "Me neither. Wherever we are, it's not friendly. Something was just crawling over my face." "Where are you, Kimmy?" "I don't know." "Then how am I going to find you?" "Can you see my hands? They're glowing yellow." "I see nothing but darkness." Once Bobby told her that, she started to crawl, feeling around with her other hand until she touched a damp wall. "I think we're trapped, Bobby. Me in one room, you in another." "Great, just great. So much for Fiery keeping us safe, huh?" "Yeah, I never trusted her much anyway." "So what do we do?" Bobby asked. "I guess we're trapped for now until someone tells us what's going on or someone finds us." Suddenly, the two of them heard a commotion. It sounded like the ceiling of the rooms they were in was collapsing. "Bobby, what's going on?" When he didn't answer, she repeated herself, and then she felt something drop on top of her. She cried out in pain and heard a familiar voice. "Oh my gosh, Shelby?" Kimmy questioned. "Kimmy?" Shelby sounded just as shocked. The two girls reached out in the dark and managed to hug. "What are you doing here?" Kimmy asked. "I was going to ask you the same thing." Shelby giggled, happy to have found her friend. "Bobby." When he didn't answer, Shelby grabbed her hand and then squeezed it. "Bobby's here too? So is Manning. Are you kidding me?" "I wish I was. Renee and I were skating last night, and then we ran into Dave and Manning. Then I don't know what happened. The next thing I knew, we were in the middle of a field, and the knights came after us and lifted us up and took us into a cave. When we woke up this morning, we met some woman who said her name was Fiery. After she left, this gross-looking thing appeared. She instantly wrapped Manning and I in her tentacle, and now we're here." "Oh my gosh. I wish I knew what was going on," Kimmy said. "Bobby, can you hear me?" "Yeah, I can hear you now." "Thank goodness. What happened?" "Manning fell on top of me and sort of knocked me out." "Are you okay? Is he with you?" Kimmy asked. "Yeah." When the four of them heard the same noise again, they all covered their heads with their arms, and Kimmy felt something fall on her again. "Ouch, what did I just fall on?" She heard Renee's voice. "Oh my gosh, Renee, it's Kimmy." "Kimmy, thank goodness, I can't believe I found you. Last night Shelby and I were so worried about you and Bobby. Is he here too?" "Yeah, he's here, but now we're separated. I think he's in the next room to us with Manning." "And Dave," Bobby said. "Now we're all together, but the problem is we have no idea where we are or how to get out of here." Kimmy's voice sounded sad against the darkness of the room. "Well, at least we've got each other now. Whoever did this to us will pay big time. I hope they're ready for it," Dave yelled. When they heard the laughter of the female voice, none of them moved. They all waited quietly to see what would happen. When the laughter slowly faded, Kimmy held up her yellow hands. "Let's explore around here and find the doors," she told Shelby and Renee. "What are you doing, Kimmy?" Bobby asked softly. "We're going to explore the room or whatever we're in and try and find the door." "It's too dark. You'll never find it." Manning was serious. "Maybe we will. My hands are glowing a strange yellow, and I'm hoping it'll be enough light so we'll be able to see the door. If we can, we'll plan our escape somehow." Kimmy touched the wall where she was sitting, then decided she needed to do something to escape before all of them ended up getting hurt, or worse. We're here. I appreciate that. That was chapter 6. All the kids found each other in prison. That's exciting. If you can believe it, we're already 80 pages in. And this looks like it's going to be a heck of a book. Heck of a story. I really appreciate you all hanging out with me and enjoying that story. I know that it's aimed for more of a younger audience, but yeah, I really hope you guys want to hear more and see how the story ends. And what powers these kids truly possess, because I have a feeling that it's all going to be very fantastical. So I'm really, really looking forward to it. And more importantly, I'm looking forward to doing it with all of you. So thank you all so, so much for joining me tonight for this very special edition of Relaxing and Reading with Kev the Pokey Ghost. Me too. We have that suspension of disbelief, so I can pretty much read or watch anything and consider it good. Yo, Heavy D, what's up, man? It's really good to see you. Much love indeed. I wish we weren't wrapping up, but we just finished the first 6 chapters of Mama Ghost book, Unspoken Secrets. And yeah, it was a really good read, so really looking forward to finishing it up. Let me just take a real quick look, see if there's any. Oh, thanks, Stafford. I appreciate you. Thank you, Eric. I appreciate you being here, fam. Let me take a look and see who is on right now. Bless them with a little reading raid. All right. I think he's still on. I appreciate that. I appreciate that, Heavy D. Peace, love, Pokemon, Leighton, Layla, Brad, and Anna Katrina. I really, really appreciate you guys being here. Much love to my New Zealand fam. I will throw down that we are going to go to Jay's Corner, and so I will just highly caution that the very, very good people just viewer discretion advised. There is some language there. Not that it's over the top, but I always want everybody to know where we're going so that we can make that choice of whether you want to come with me or not. But I really, really appreciate you guys hanging out. And remember, always go out and get everything that you set out to get, and don't let anything stop you, as Mama Ghost would say. It takes $0 to be a good person. So always do it through peace, love, and Pokemon. And thank you all for believing in ghosts. We will see you next, probably Thursday when we go live. Good night, you all. I hope you sleep well. And yeah, let's go and raid Jay's Corner. Just a real quick ghosty reading raid, and we'll call it a night. Thank you all. Absolutely. Thank you, Rafa. Good night, Matt. Charlie.